Welcome along this Saturday, Racing Post Live with Betfair. Dave Orton back in the seat. Thrilled to be here with you. If you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe to interact with us. We're giving you 6 races today. That's right, only 6. Sometimes we can go up to 10 or 12, but we're concentrating on quality here. Not just on the panel, not just on the race course, but with you guys as well. We love you. Let us know you make the show. What a Saturday afternoon it is. An end of term feel, everyone's been saying to me today. It feels a bit like that, doesn't it? Let's celebrate this wonderful jump season we've had. The curtain comes down, 3:35. It's the Bet365 Gold Cup, the marathon. My Lord, who remembers the drama last year, the 1, 2, 3? We'll talk about that shortly. Let's go down the panel then. If you're watching on Facebook Live, let us know as well, and anything on Twitter. Throughout the afternoon, of course, it is hashtag RP Live. Great stuff. Right, who've we got for you? And it does reflect the season as it's been. Kate Tracey with me. We've dragged her back in from the paddock. Yeah, well, not quite, Kate, absolutely. This is a great meeting, isn't it?
It is, completely.
Got a bit of you all over it today.
Oh, totally. As I was saying beforehand, this has a proper end of term, last day at school kind of feel.
Last day at school.
The panel's reflecting that, I think, today. A lot of fun then in, that we're going to have today, I'm sure. Yeah,
very much so, because Nat Green is sandwiched somewhere in the middle as well. There she is. She's back to bring some colour. You've been all over the place, Nat, haven't you?
I'm not in colour today. It's very rare for me to wear white, actually. But I thought, spring's upon us, sort of. It's freezing in London, by the way. Didn't bring my coat.
Where have you been?
I've been everywhere. You name it, I've been there. I've been to Perth. I've been to Newcastle. I've been to Musselburgh.
You've been point to pointing.
I've been point to pointing.
Just check out Nat's Twitter. It's literally been alive all of a sudden.
I did a tug of war, and I've still got sore hands, sore shoulder, bruise, but we won. Best out of 3.
Of course you did. No one would have ever doubted you. Did you have G-Rod on your side?
I'm actually quite good at tug of war.
Oh, listen, it's the one sport we'd excel at,
exactly,
right?
yeah.
I think I've got trophies.
They always
somewhere.
put me at the front. They always put me at the front.
I went at the back because the anchor.
The anchor.
Yeah.
That's a tough bit, though. That's a responsible.
I'm on the floor. I got pulled along the floor.
But of course, we've got Guineas coming up, haven't we? Next week. This is the end of the jump season, and it starts really. But we'll go what? Market Raisin probably due to some, a bit of Haydock as well, maybe. Yeah. Swinton Hurdle, of course, bit of Uttoxeter. We do have a jumps game due to summer, but this is a celebration, isn't it? Paul Nicholls, of course, another Trainers' Championship Betfair ambassador. Barry, let's go to you in Dublin. You're back with us for the afternoon. It's going to be a nice natter with Nicholls on Monday, we hope.
Yeah, it's going to be a wrap for the season, isn't it? He's had a fantastic year. He's almost certain to be champion trainer. He may have even been crowned. I'm not so sure, but yeah, it's been a big year. He's won the Betfair Tyndall Quick with Grenadine, who we get to see today again at Sandown. And I think he'd say himself, he hasn't got a stable full of stars, but he keeps grinding it out and he keeps winning that title. And it's just validation for his great training operation he has in Ditch Heat. Obviously, he loses one of his key men this year with his assistant trainer going his own merry way. So it's a rebuild from that aspect down in Ditch Heat, but a lot to look forward to.
Well, not badly, have they? Dan Skelton,
one
of them.
He's seen that before, hasn't he? Harry Durham. We wish Harry lots of luck, of course. He won't be training next season. He'll be building the empire, Lambourne Way, Newbury Way, I think, isn't he? But we'll be unleashing Hazza onto the course in his own right. But it has been an amazing season for Paul. I mean, obviously, Cheltenham was a bit of a washout, I think we could say, for Paul, wasn't it? I mean, but the quality shown all year round, the grade ones, of course, we've got Clandezobo going Punchestown next week. So a lot of people will be thinking, it's not the end of the jump season, of course, only domestically here. We've got a bit of flat action for you, if you want a little bit of that. We're going up to Haydock 205, and we've got a 3-runner listed race. Another 3-runner race for you out there on the flat. We'll be talking all about that. Let us know what you think about all these things. Let us know what your highlight of the jump season was. Let's have it. Of course, this time last year, we sat on this panel.
We did.
It was madness, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was probably one of my highlights of the whole year. It was a great finish, wasn't it? It was like bumper cars up the running.
Yeah, well,
at the end of a 3.5 mile chase.
And of course, the first 3 all reoppose in the biggie at 3:35 this time. Before we get any tips, let's have a reminder of exactly the scenes that went off in this studio 12 months earlier. A little bit. I'll tell you what, come on, Kitties! Come on, Kitties, can you do it?
And Rilo tackled again by
He's going to wake them!
Kitty's Light's got into 5th place.
Come on, Kitties!
Staying on. Here's the last.
He's flown it!
Real Presente, Kitty's Light.
Kitty's Light, I'm season 2 lights!
Kitty's Light on the
outside.
Come
on, Kitties!
And Rilo and Kitty's Light, they're going to find it out.
Kitty's Light coming!
the stewards, for the first time in this race, a stewards inquiry. We've had disqualifications.
Oh, that's cost him, isn't it?
Oh, wow.
Wow, indeed. I suppose the first thing to say there, G, is massively upgraded the panel. Haven't we? I mean,
yeah,
Enzo's
absolutely.
been
Yeah.
given the boot.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm aging better than you. I'm not sure about that. But
You would say
that. Barry, that was unbelievable scenes, wasn't it? Stewards that we heard there as well, didn't we? Of course. Can we repeat anything like that? Who's market leader at the moment? Is it Kitties?
Yeah, Kitty's Light's just heading the market at the moment, all right. It's been quite a busy race, it has to be said, Dave. We've seen a lot of action on it. There's 5 places on the Betfair Sportsbook, so as you'd expect with those enhanced place turns. With Kitty Light favourite at 4-1, and Rillo just a little weak, had been favourite at 7-2, is out to 9-2 now. Musical Slave has been really strong, put up by Tony Calvin on the Racing Only Better podcast. He's a 6-1 chance. Streets of Doyen has been well punted as well at 13-2. Win My Wings, can she defy over a stone that she got for winning last day out? She's 13-2. Ron James comes over to ride again, claiming a valuable 7 off her. So, mares, when they start improving, watch out. But got hold of her.
Yeah, you said it right, Barry.
Yeah, well,
When they start improving.
When a
Watch
girl's
out.
informed.
I think we're going to be having a mare this afternoon. I don't know about mares in form and all that sort of thing. But yeah, you don't know listening to Christian, honestly. You'd have seen him come back on the feature show we did yesterday, and he's been a great friend to us this year. He knows the game, and wish him well. I mean, could he possibly do a trifecta like some people on the panel tend to be able to pull off? I don't know.
Oh, I love it.
You are insufferable, aren't you?
Insufferable. I'm very happy today. I'm very jolly to be here. It's one of my favourite days actually as
All
well.
right. We are going up to Haydock, Barry, 205 for a race there. And that's the money back offer special today for punters out there.
That's right, yeah. The Great Shivington at 205 in Haydock. Money back special on the Betfair Sportsbook and Exchange. Money back is a free bet if your horse fails to finish in the first 3 there. So it's a knockout offer. We do one every Saturday now and midweek. Watch out for a couple in Punchestown as well during the week. The festival kicks off there on Tuesday, the finale in Ireland. But 205 Shevington Handicap money back special. If your horse fails to finish in the first 3, get your cash back as a free bet on Sportsbook and Exchange.
I'm going to need that because I've got a cliff horse in it. I'm not going to reveal it now, but we all know what a cliff horse means, right? One that you just keep the project and the faith with. And we keep jumping off the edge of the cliff with it. And I won't go into that, but that would be quite a good offer for me. There is the real market coming up. The graphics on the screen are there. We've got Will and Sam in the gallery today. Great team for you. Welcome along. If you're just joining us, we're better to watch your racing. This afternoon, the raucous reaction that we'll have in between the races. You've just been given a clip of what happened last year. But of course, we'll be, giving a tip in every race. Barry will be showcasing the functionality, playing for charity, of course, trying to get you a few quid out there. You don't have to play in every race. Safe gambling, that's our MO here at the Racing Post and Betfair, of course. Let's have some fun. We're going to be trying to deliver that for you anyway along the way. And Barry, this is a rip-roarer, this 150, isn't it? It's basically an informative race with the future in mind, but a hell of a competitive betting heat.
Yeah, the favourite's been really strong. Nappers Hill. I like WizKid in it. Well, we do our Lucky 15 first for charity. That's I think G-Rod, you're going to place it first. It's 4 horses. It's 6 doubles, 4 trebles, an accumulator, and 4 singles. So it's 15 bets. We're going to do it for a quid, and it's going to be each way. Our first leg is going to be WizKid in this race, the 150. Our second leg is So Royal in the 3 o'clock. In this race, in the 150, it's 4 places on the Betfair Sportsbook each way punter, so that's a good one. 3 o'clock then, So Royal. In the 332, the big race where it's 5 places, we're going to go Phlegmatic. That's Dan Skelton's horse. And then our 205, the money back special race on the Betfair Sportsbook, we're going to go Summer Sands. That's in the 205 in Haydock, the money back special race, Summer Sands. So that's 4 horses, like I said. We're going to do it for quid each way. It's 15 bets. Each way means it's going to cost us 30 quid. And I think that gets us around 10 grand if that comes in. We've hit the crossbar plenty of times with this Lucky 15. We've got up plenty of place doubles, trebles, and acas. So fingers crossed we can get a couple of winners in this for the retraining of racehorses. Like you say, Dave, we're just showcasing functionality of the Sportsbook and the Exchange here. We're going to have a few charity bets. Anything we win goes to charity. The charity this month is retraining of racehorses. Last month it was Injured Jockeys Fund. We sent a cheque for £2,500 just last month. And fingers crossed, we've 425 banks so far this month for retraining of racehorses. And hopefully we can add to that today.
If this show's here to do anything each year, Barry, it's that, isn't it? And you've played an absolute blinder the last couple of years. So let's try and boost it. There was a lot of nodding going on in the studio then, Barry. I can tell you when WizKid was being mentioned. Solid horse, G, isn't he, this one?
Yeah, but he's not good enough to win this race, is he?
Tell it how it is.
You know, there's only 2 horses that can win this race, isn't
All right.
there? One's Napper's Hill and the other one's Dr. Parnassus.
This is in a field of 12, of course.
Yeah, you can just
knock out another 10, easy.
Yeah, just put a line through the rest. Yeah,
Well, I'm thrilled that you said one of those, but which would be the one on top for G-Rod?
Napper's Hill, yeah. I mean, he was 6th in the Betfair hurdle, wasn't he? That's better form than most of these have got.
Yes, Drew.
He won last time out an absolute egg and spoon. That's lost the earpiece for about the 5th time. He won an egg and spoon last time. But he's just better than these, isn't he? He's like a grade 2 bumper winner, isn't he?
Yeah, but he does have to give lots of weight to some WizKids and
I must warn you that today I am going to be insufferable because I am on probably the hottest streak that I can ever remember being on.
What?
I literally am just...
You've caught the sun as well. It's reflected in your punting, is it?
Everything that I back either wins or finishes second.
How's the diet going, by the way? Because
The diet's not going very well, Dave. No, it's not going very well at all.
I've just asked someone that.
It's going
Well, you
terribly.
can ask me and I'll tell you terrible.
Your life's doing really well with all your bets, but how's your diet going?
Because I
How's
said
that
about he's
going?
caught the sun. Look, he's caught the sun. The reason why I'm asking you this, your in-laws are over at the moment, aren't you? They
Yeah.
do like dining out.
They love dining out, and they love.
We're expecting you to get on the zip wire at Centre Parks later on. You're on a challenge, aren't
Well,
you?
yeah, I was supposed to be losing £30. I lost £16.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and now.
Where'd you put them?
Keels did 30, didn't he?
So he tells us.
Yeah, apparently.
He's told me quite a few times, actually.
I put £6 back on since the in-laws come over because not only do they like dining out, they love going to the local pub. And I'm sorry, if someone turns around to me and says, "Oh, Graeme, do you want to come to the local pub, for a pint?" I'll go. But
Well, I'm not going to
So,
tease anything
I
too
can't
much,
help it.
but the great man from Dublin is thinking of coming over soon and sitting in this panel. If G-Rod's on the studio, Barry, you better have your lungs filled
Hollow
and
legs.
ready. I'm telling you that much.
I look forward to the challenge.
Hollow legs.
Well, these two, God,
We could
imagine
go-
these two going head-to-head in the pub.
Isn't there
They're
a pub
terrible
called
on
the
this show.
Hollow Bottom somewhere?
The what?
Yeah.
That's
Cheltenham.
900 Twisted Nations.
Lord.
Yes, we could all go to the Hollow Bottom in
Cheltenham.
Cheltenham.
That's something.
Barry sounds like he's got good memories of there. That was the chirping up in the background.
The hollow bottom.
It's in Nowton, isn't it? Where
Yeah.
Twisted Davis Straight. It's a great little spot. Yeah,
Yeah.
lovely spot.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Yeah, all right. Let's get down the tips then, because you've just gone for the fav.
So yeah, this will win, Dave. Or
This will win.
This will win. Yeah.
Okay.
I
Great.
prepared as if you'd all had a bit of food poisoning, and I wrote a paragraph on every single runner, so I could have hosted it on my own. I looked ahead. I looked at Napper's Hill, which has always let me down a little bit. I actually was quite keen on WizKid for Dr. Richard Newton. I know I get what you mean, I get where you're coming from. I just thought, G-Rod, that no disrespect to the jockey, Killen Lennon, but I thought he got somewhat run away with slightly at Haydock. It just didn't quite, I don't know, I just think with Sam back on board, what this horse needs is for his energy to be conserved a bit more. It's a bit of a risky bet looking at the opposition. But I'm going to go for WizKid, and I would be annoyed with myself if I didn't mention Hasty Parisian here for Milton Harris, because I don't think there's a single Racing Post show I've been on and not talked about Milton Harris.
Yeah.
Is there? Every time I come on, I talk about Milton Harris.
Haven't really got time to check
It's
it.
like
But
33% last 14 days. This
Yes.
4-year-old, loads. You know what they say? Make hay while the sun shines. They, Dave, what they say.
yes, whoever they are.
Sandown, course and distance winner. The cheap pieces are on for the first time. Look, he's 10 stone and 14 to 1 about. Obviously,
He's won with 4 of his last 5 runners, Milton.
It's
He's
amazing.
had a proper season, hasn't he?
Why not
Come
have an
back
each?
from risen from the ashes. There
That's
you go.
That's a
nice
good
one.
wave.
I'll
Yeah.
tell you
So,
what's
but-
really weird about it, and I like to know what he thought about it. And sometimes is that like every season his strike rate is like 10, 10, 11, 10, 12, 10. And then this season it's like 24.
Yeah.
So what's he done differently
I'd
this
suggest
season?
better
He
stock.
finally
Go on, Barry.
got over the breakup of him and Berlinda Carlisle, I'd say.
Was that was the story, wasn't it?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
from earlier in the
yes.
year. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. He's a bright character, is Milton. But anyway, he's back and he's had runners at Cheltenham, of course.
I just think
Who
at the
was
price,
Grade 1
Dave,
winner?
I just thought
At
it was a
Aintree, of
good-
course.
Yeah, Knight Salute.
Your
I like
horse,
Salute.
obviously.
Yeah.
You lot kept saying now that he was no good. Night Salute. You kept saying that.
Oh,
didn't
no,
you?
I liked him.
Yeah, you look.
Me and you, I think we were in the
that's
same
right.
camp.
There was, most people
My mate
didn't
Mozzie
like
was
him.
your horse for the season, G-Rod.
Oh, that's a low blow, isn't it?
Sorry. Yes. Face.
Yeah, I think. Is he running in a handicap at Punchdown next week? He probably is, isn't he?
Yeah,
Most certainly, yeah.
And he'll win,
He's
won't
definitely
he?
not in a great one.
He'll win, won't he?
Yes, come on, G, you keep it up. Kate, give us a tip in this first.
Headlaw for me. I'm
Headlaw.
splitting the panel. I'm concerned about the trip for Nappers Hill. I really liked him for the Betfair hurdle. I thought he ticked an awful lot of boxes for that. But in that race, he just shaped as though he wanted to step up and trip for me. He then got that next time out, and he was very disappointing. For all the soft ground was probably against him. Last time out, just a confidence booster for him at Newton Abbot. I'm not really going to take him over 2 miles. Sorry, G-Rod. Wizkid, I don't think jumped well enough last time out.
No, he
That's
didn't.
my concern.
He didn't at
I
all.
don't think he jumped well enough.
Headlaw's a bit clumsy though, isn't he?
But Southwell last time out just saw him to much better effect. I think they deliberately sent him to Southwell over the brush hurdles. You see trainers doing this often to get them to actually learn to jump properly.
Someone bringing it back to form. Very good, Kate Tracey.
We try.
There we go. Well, he's massively progressive, isn't he? I thought Dr. Parnassus might be a flyer in this, but there's 4 or 5 that I like. If I had to have one, it would be him on top. I think that triumph is sizzling form. Night Salute, the aforementioned, came out, didn't he? You don't like it, Barry, do you?
Oh yeah, we do. We doing a trade in this, are we?
Well, are you gonna
Let's
bet
get
this
this
for
on.
me, please, G-Rod?
Yeah,
Wizkid,
let's do
we're
it.
gonna have 25 quid win in place. Yeah, 5.6. Be a price taker here because they're lining up. He was beaten out of sight in the Talworth, obviously, but he won that Catrick Maiden by 27 lengths, and then he went on and won a novice in Ludlow. He carried his penalty by 10 lengths. I didn't think he jumped great, but he was still with them jumping in Aintree last day in that conditional jockeys race. He was sent off 3-1 favourite. I think he'll definitely be there or thereabouts with Sam back on. Yeah, so happy to be a price taker in the win and place market here. Just standard place terms, 3 places, although it is 4 places on the sportsbook.
Yeah, OK, a classy horse on the flat in France, done well since he's gone to Dr. Richard Newland, and that Aintree form, it often matches up at this meeting. So here we go, Commander, opening the floor. Hold on, just have to refill my glass and change my mind and try and understand the Rodway logic.
Well, there's a few people who are trying to do that.
Commander,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
That's for
Great
sure.
to have you out there. The social corner is now open. Keep them coming in this afternoon. What a Constitution Hill paraded before racing. Who saw that on our Twitter feed? Ben Blackmore there today doing the great work. We've got Jamie Philby clipping up for you this afternoon. With the A team is in. You can see the spotlight verdict there. This is the premium content we give you for free. If you're not members, why on earth not, of our members club on the website? But there you are. Nappers Hill agreeing with G-Rod. You didn't do that spot, did you?
No, I didn't
They
do
do
that
occasionally
one.
let
I
you
do
still
do the I
unleash
do
them.
do the odd one, but I'm just so busy at the moment that I don't get to do many spotlights. But I enjoy doing them.
Busy down the local pub, of course.
Of course.
All right, okay.
Keeping the in-laws happy.
Loads of horses to like in this. Look, let's get ready. Let's have some fun then. Drama we are expecting again at 3:35. We go to Haydock. We go to Leicester. Yes, for a listed race. Just the 3 runners, but I quite like one in it, to be honest. That's at 2:45 as well. And then we're concentrating. We've got some great horses coming out, and let's enjoy this. Absolute celebration. It looks like Dibble Deco, Paul Keeley is all over at the track today. Might just take him off, and we're off and running. Away we go. Boomborn. Jack Andrews still claiming 5 somehow. He's up there as well. Perhaps the second string for the Skeltons. Progressive novice coming. Is he Headlaw right at the back? I could see that early, along with Dr. Parnassus, that Triumph hurdle form.
It's a good
Nappers Hill in
pace,
the middle.
Dave. They're not going 29 miles an hour. They're going 34
Wow.
miles
No,
an hour.
what are they doing?
Once, yeah.
Wizkid was.
What are they doing? They need the heads checked, do they? It's the last day of school for the jocks as well. They're loving it,
Yeah, I
aren't they?
suppose the ground's probably quite quick there, so maybe that's why
Let's
they're
go
going a bit
above 30
faster.
miles an hour today, guys. Let's probably
go
sit
for
in the
it.
weighing room. And it is Boomborn that leads over to second then. Okay, we've all pretty much got our positions at the moment. I'm looking for the well-fancied Wizkid then. He's out the back as
Red
well.
Vision wasn't
He'll
it?
be happy with this 34 miles an hour. Looking wide, is that Alto? Alto's also in midfield. The very progressive Zalcony Rebel, who I thought was a big price in this for Toby Laws. Tom Cannon of Edwardstone fame. The Glancing Queen, you name it. Barry, we've jumped 3 hurdles. What's the market saying?
Dibble Decker, obviously the horse leading, is a bigger price than his Betfair SP. He's out to 9.2. He had a Betfair SP of 8.8, 4.6 Nappers Hill. Headlaw is the one they don't want to be with. He's jumped very sketchy. He's out to 11 on the exchange. 5.2 Wizkid, 6.6 Dr. Parnassus.
How are you feeling about Headlaw? They
Yeah,
can't have
no,
him.
didn't jump that. I was delighted when I saw the pace. Thought there was going to be a strong pace in this race. That's what we've got. Thought Moore might challenge them for the lead, but he hasn't jumped well then in behind, which has been a bit of a concern of his. But I'm glad where he is in this race anyway, with the pace they're going.
So again, not putting anyone off still. Kate Tracey, who fancies the JP McManus famous stills. The Wizkid, is he going along
The
nicely?
Wizkid, the first hurdle was like this. He does a bit of a strange way,
a praying
jumping
mantis.
sometimes. But he's been in a slightly better rhythm now. We know he's not always the slickest, but I am quite pleased with my each way on Hasty Parisian in this, with the cheek pieces just in a lovely rhythm there, and plenty of daylight and jumping really nicely.
Yeah, first time cheek pieces, of course, with Harry Reid on. What's this out wide that's going along the outside?
Pinkham.
Stanley Pinkham, thank you, Kate. How's your Certainty Nappers Hill progressing?
Yeah, going well, Dave. Just on the outside.
Oh, he bunny hopped it.
Yeah, you come to me at the wrong moment there, Dave. You should have just given it 10 seconds.
Sort of chuffed I did, really. But anyway, okay, come on and right.
Got in deep at that one.
Now they are bunching up, guys. This is what happens, isn't it, at Sandown? When we get the jocks in, they tell you this is what happens. They get to this third last and they really start to find themselves out. Who's coming up in top? Still the front runners are. Dibble Decker and, of course, Boom Bourne. Is it a front runner's track? That's what I would wager. Dots Parnassus creeping into it. Happy to see that. Whiz-Kid still going really well out the back. Hasty Parisian on the inside, catching your eye. On the soft ground, G, you don't want to be on the inside. All chains, so I imagine, on this terrain.
Usually the case. It's always been a front runner's track, Sandown. I always think you want to be up there with pace anyway.
Well, I've never heard
They're really quicking it up now, aren't they?
Yeah,
they
they'll be
are. This is
wider.
it.
No matter what.
Sprinting.
They're well bunched together now coming into this.
Yeah, Boom
Gotta be
Bourne,
angling
Jack
yourself
Andrews will be
out.
Where's
fancying
this
it.
good
Headlaw's
thing?
coming, but he's rowing away. Dr. Parnassus creeping in. Salcone Rebel is good. Here's Nappers Hill.
Here
You've
comes
got to
this
be
good
happy
thing.
here, G.
Come on, Hasty Parisian, just
sure.
get
What do you
good
think?
move.
Yeah, it's good.
Red Vision, Brian Hughes creeping into it. The 200 Brian Hughes, of course, in that
Come on,
club
Nappers,
now.
pick 'em up.
Dr.
He's a bit
Parnassus
animated,
knows
he's
over
very
top of the
legit.
season.
Go on, Nappers.
Barry's
Come on,
right.
Hasty Parisian.
Look at Nappers Hill. This is going to be annoying.
Go on,
Boom
Nappers,
Bourne's-
pick 'em up.
Okay, so Boom Bourne's there.
Come on, Hasty
Nappers
Parisian.
Hill wasn't
Go
great.
on,
Oh, this is
Nappers.
all over. This is
Go
going to
on.
be insufferable, G-Rod, isn't it?
No, away you go.
Price is going really low, look.
Go on.
Listen, long old climb on this hill. Hasty Parisian might be the danger.
Go on, Nappers.
Come on, Hasty
Danger
Parisian.
might be the
Good one.
hurdle. He's up and
Yeah,
over.
well
Best
done.
jump so far.
Come on,
He's
Hasty
walking.
Parisian.
Go on,
He's walking.
Nappers,
Boom
away
Bourne's
you
coming
go.
back. He's drifting.
Go
Hasty
on,
Parisian
Nappers.
not out of this. Nappers Hill it is. He said he would win.
I told you I'd win, Dave.
I'll tell you what, Red Vision absolutely flying. What's this thing as well? Alto on the back as well. That's it, Paul Nicholls. You
Very well done,
insufferable
G-Rod.
Nicholls.
Very well
Followers
done.
out there. And G-Rod, he's going to be insufferable now.
Said it was a certainty.
G-Rod,
Thank you.
G-Rod,
Thank you.
G-Rod,
Ridiculous.
G-Rod.
Barry, when did they know?
Well, from jumping to second last when he loomed up on the outside, interestingly, he wasn't returned favourite. Whiz-Kid was returned favourite at 5.0, and Nappers Hill was 5.31. It's a good weight carrying performance, that, and he goes chasing next year. But great start, G-Rod, well done. Nothing really traded short against it other than Dibble Decker. Only traded at a low of 8.57. Outside of that, Dr. Parnassus traded at a low of 5.4. Alto, Boom Boom finished second, trade at a low at 2.32. And your third horse, Alto, trade at a low at 10. So no massive in-running news there. He was always well placed to winner.
A lot of over-the-top horses in that race. I think Whiz-Kid and Dr. Parnassus definitely amongst them. They just found absolutely nothing. It's a bit of a change of comfort zone for these horses, is it, on this quick
I
ground?
would say like Nappers Hill's had a long season, so that was a terrific performance. That would be my slight worry. Oh, it's a long season, but
Like, he only qualified for that last Sunday.
Yeah.
He wasn't qualified for that before Newton Abbott.
It looked like a confidence boost, didn't
yeah.
it? But again, this is why he keeps doing
Last
it.
Sunday to qualify, he wouldn't have got into the race without it.
And he's absolutely hosed up. I guess it's the Betfair Hurdle form you're looking at, aren't you, there?
Yeah, I mean, that Betfair Hurdle's a great race every year, isn't it, Dave? And I don't know, just a much better race than that, probably, the Betfair Hurdle, I would say. And, of course, he really loves good ground, this horse, doesn't he? He won the Grade 2 race last year at Aintree on decent ground, and, it's come right for him. And he's always had loads of promise, this horse. Always been really promising. He's starting to fulfil it now.
Funnily enough, when I went down with Betfair to Nicholls Yard just before Cheltenham, I asked him whether he might be your embryonic chaser, and he said we might think about sticking over hurdles actually next season.
He's like
Which surprised me.
McFabulous, isn't he? Didn't McFabulous win
He's
that?
running on the card, isn't he?
Yeah.
McFab.
He won
Jumps
the
like a
same
fridge.
bumper, I think.
Did he? Might have done.
well,
he's
yeah.
a nice, tough horse, and if he just started jumping a bit better, maybe fences will be the way, because he does disrespect a few, doesn't he? Anyway, we're off and running at Sandown, and Paul Nicholls, champion trainer again, wins the first. Who was with him? I see a lot of our community out there with Boom Bourne each way. Andy Sim had the third as well. Was that Alto? Again, never really looked like it was in it, but Chris Gordon's had a good end of the season as well. Loads of over-the-top horses, aren't there? This is the game at the moment.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. Just end of season form. That's why you do always have to play sort of Aintree and Sandown then tentatively so, even though our market leader's gone in there, admittedly. But that's the thing, is sort of the horses that then have avoided Cheltenham and such like as well come more into the play. Talk about the better ground there. I'm not entirely sure it's as quick as we were anticipating. The times yesterday on the flat track didn't suggest it was overly that fast. I know they've been watering quite a lot.
This is Andrew Cooper we're talking about.
Yeah.
The Grand Wizard of Watering, they call him. You know,
yeah.
He does like to chuck it on.
So I'd say it probably is just good ground there, really. I'd probably say it's,
The Wizard of Water.
The Wizard of Water.
It's
I'm going to reserve that name for a while.
but you're not quite ready to leave school yet, I'm afraid. OK, we're off and running. It's Haydock next, isn't it? Basically, this is your money back race, Barry. Where are we playing in this? 7 furlongs on the flat at Haddock.
Yeah, this is the money back special race at 205. Cashback is a free bet if your horse fails to place. And that's on the exchange and the sportsbook. 2 non-runners here, Russ Cullen, who ran just yesterday, and Sir Dancelot. So number 1 and 2 on your card are non-runners. Your favourite at the moment, Al Rahab, at 4.6. Or no, Boardman's actually favourite now, 4.4, 4.7. Al Rahab. Silver Samurai, 8.2, 12.5. Gia Chica, 13.5. Oh, This Is Us. Oh, Delali is 13. The horse I like in it, though, is Summer Sand, currently trading at 20. G-Rod, we're going to have 25 quid win and 25 quid place Summer Sands. Ex-Richard Fahey is back with him now. Went to Joseph O'Brien. Was rated 109 after he won the Red Car Trophy, the 2-year-old trophy. He was 3rd in Earthlight's Middle Park as a 2-year-old. Really, really good 2-year-old. They gave big money for him. He's still the same owner, but he's back with Richard Fahey now as a 5-year-old. He's rated 88. If he can show any of his old sparkle and they're persisting with him, which is a good sign, I think 20 could be a massive price about him.
Thank you, Barry. Yes, OK, very interesting. I agree. For Perfect Powers trainer, of course, Richard Fahey. Guineas just around the corner. Let us know what you think wins that as well. We'll have it all this afternoon. And a low draw for Summer Sands as well, which can be rather important around this 7 furlongs. Kate, let's go to you next.
Yeah, Boardman for me.
My Cliff horse.
Yeah, is this where we're going with a Cliff horse?
This
we
is
concerned
Cliff
about
Richard,
the ground?
this is Cliff, whoever you can think of. This is the bloke.
That's about the only
It's
Cliff I know,
officially
yeah.
got the firm now. They changed it after the first race. So
Did
officially
they?
got the firm.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Barry.
Yeah.
He won't mind that so much. He just needs the pace, doesn't he, to chase?
Yeah, he does. And I mean, I am slightly concerned that it's good to firm there, but at the same time, when you look through his form, it would tell you he's best on soft at the start of last season, and then his form tailed off when he got into better ground. But actually, I think the handicap had probably caught him out as much as the ground there. So I still think it might be too soon to draw conclusions about him on a sounder surface.
He went up to 96 a Markov. He's now on 90.
Back on his last winning mark.
That reappearance fourth was again eye-catching, and he's 1 from 1 at the course, isn't
Yeah, and the fact last season he started out at Red Car and he ran he's just not very good fresh. And then he went and he got a hat trick up thereafter.
Yeah.
So this year they're taking the same approach, going to Red Car. He was drawn out in the car park at Red Car as well. He did best of those drawn high.
Yeah.
Plenty of those horses who were drawn high have come out and run well since anyway. So the form looks solid from that. And as I say, I think he can be upgraded on that fourth at Red Car last time out.
They're probably looking at Chester as well, a little bit, which is coming up as well in the May meeting there. Natalie Green, what did we like?
Yeah, very boring, and Boardman as well.
Wow.
I've got nothing to add now, so I may as well talk about a different one.
Sorry.
You've got the notes.
I've got the
Just show
notes.
the
You might as well use them.
I may as well use them. Yeah, and it was the Al Red horse. May have had issues in the past, I was thinking, but still quite an expensive purchase, wasn't it, out the Charles Hills yard. It's taken a while to get going for my favourite name in training, Kevin Philippe.
Philippa, there you go. So much of your favourite.
I just want to ring
So difficult to
a
say.
restaurant and just book myself on
Oh,
Sunday.
we should all do that, shouldn't we? Absolutely. I
best
like
name.
That
that.
is your code name.
What's your name, sir?
It's just so good, isn't it?
How do you get a name like that?
Kevin Philip Art Defoy.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have
Do
him
you
on,
have
we'll
to
ask
have
him.
like a...
Philippa Defoy.
Is that like his real name, or is it like Barreled, where it's like his mum's name and his
Well, I
dad's
don't know.
name?
Dave's the
Great
king
name.
of hyphens. I'm not sure.
I'd love to have a name like that.
I love a hyphen.
Love a hyphen. But no, I can see, well, look, if he acts as well on turf as he does in the weather, I can see the love and hence why in the betting. So very boring to kind of look at the top two. I had a good look at that Goa Checker. I think that is how you say it. That's around 12 I was on Betfair. I saw that at Musselburgh and disappointed, to be honest.
You've got great handwriting, haven't you, Nat? I mean,
Have
it really
I?
is very tidy, isn't it?
Are you joking?
I think it's very tidy.
It's not
All it
tidy.
needs
You
is a
ever
bit of
seen me write?
highlighter.
It's very
At
strong.
least it's readable. Now, you are on a hot streak.
Yes.
You've insufferably said
Yes.
that Nappers Hill was one of only
Win.
2 wins that could win
Yeah.
the first. You got it right.
Yeah.
The hot streak is on. Could you go through the card today? You've got
Could
5 more opportunities.
could easily go through the card. I had 5 bets yesterday, 3 winners and 2 seconds. Everything that I do at the moment either wins or finishes second. So
Come on.
so get on. Oh, this is us.
Yeah.
Whoa.
What a lovely.
Absolutely different gravy to this lot. If he comes back to anywhere near his best form, he's running off a mark of 93. He's rated 100 just a couple of weeks ago. He's gone down in the weight, so he's not shown much. But they've got Tom Marquand taking over today for the Hannons. Hannons obviously started the season really quickly. His horse has been in good form. This horse likes going left-handed on turf. He's got a really good record going left-handed tracks. I think you just win. Oh, this is us.
The 9-year-old for the Hannons and Tom the Pom is indeed on. Just looking at his record.
Yeah, and he struggled to get competitive this year. But like you say, with the jockey with Tom, I followed Tom's videos. He wow, his fitness regime is
the ice bath he's got put in and everything.
unbelievable. He's got his big ice bath at home, and then he just
Doesn't sound like much fun.
No, not to us normal
honestly,
people.
the work that guy. I mean, all these jockeys put in an immense amount of work, but I do enjoy following his fitness regime. I think, my word,
He's some
unreal,
operator, Tom, isn't he?
unreal, very focused.
Yeah. We're lucky to have him, I think.
Very lucky to have him. So yeah, that's a good. I did sort of look at that a bit and then went, oh no.
Does anyone ever look at a horse and think, yeah, Tom's on? It just it's the icing on a cake, isn't it, when you fancy one? I do that quite a bit.
Well, yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
No?
Well,
Let's see
I
what
don't
his
know.
record is like in this. Of course, if it's the return of the flat to Ascot next week, isn't it? The Cigaro meeting, and this chap actually caused a surprise when winning the listed
surprised.
7 furlong race there that last year. What's his record under Tom? Yeah, Tom's ridden him loads of times. He's won on him, wow, quite a few times. We're on about 7 times, and his form at Haydock Leicester 2-1. So you have been told as they circle round the back of the stalls. Barry, what's the market saying? Any love for the Hannon veteran?
At the moment, there has been money for him actually. This is us. He's only 4 in the place market. In the win market, he's 15. He was 20 when we first went up with the race, but Al-Reb is your favourite now at 4.2, 4.6 Boardman, 7 Silver Samurai, and it's 14 bar.
Okay, Barry. I'm looking at some socials actually out there, and quite a few people going for the Kevin Philippart
For the name.
This is a burgeoning yard, isn't it? It made like a lot of these young trainers. They get going on the all-weather, don't you? They utilise the apprentices out there. Laura Pearson on board.
Yeah, I think Laura Pearson's great. Yeah, she's just fantastic, isn't she then? And she had a breakthrough at Royal Ascot winner last year, didn't she? Lola Showgirl, if I remember rightly.
Bruce Millington somehow tipped it.
I did as well, hence why I
Bruce
remember.
Millington
Yeah,
was a
thanks
record
very
big
much.
price.
I will happily reiterate that over and over.
Absolutely.
To the credit. But just looking at This Is Us, he actually finished second in this race back in 2017 off a mark of 109. So makes this mark look very feasible 5 years down the line.
Yeah,
but
down the weight.
yeah, exactly, way down the weights. But yeah, Kevin Philippart before, he just had that breakthrough year really last year himself, didn't he? And yeah, he's definitely
Benoit
a
de la
trainer.
Salle he was using as well, wasn't it? It's a great effect on it. In fact, I think they sort of came on the scene together. They exploded out, didn't they?
Got a lovely grey horse in here, Silver Samurai, I assume it's called. Yeah.
Yes.
Short-headed at Kempton.
Obviously no jumps, so we can't see how he
Do you
jumps.
just like a magnet? Do you find yourself moving towards a grey horse? I mean,
Yeah, I love grey horse. Yeah, great, aren't they? Yeah.
I always
Yeah,
wanted to call a grey horse Gandalf. I always had that thing. I don't know. It's probably
There was
been done,
one called a
isn't
Shadowfax the other day. A grey horse Shadowfax, Lord of the Rings reference.
Nice.
He ran absolutely terribly
it?
at
We've
Newbury.
got a fan. Did he? Yeah.
Terribly.
What, is he a novice or?
In a novice,
Well,
yeah.
When
First time
you
out.
go to Newbury novices, you can finish out the back and get yourself a nice handicap mark. Can't you?
Oh, he was well off the bridle about the way out. Yeah.
Oh, he needs 2 miles already, is he?
It was a good novice, admittedly.
Oh, they're in the stalls.
They're in the stalls then. Good luck at Haydock. This is your money back offer. I might need it on Boardman. Certainly might need it on one that came out. So who's that came
I
out?
think
the funny?
that was number 9. Was it?
That was number 12, was it? Lovely Breeze, potentially. Hugo
Yeah, well,
Palmer's
yeah, it
horse.
was.
Haley Turner already having a horrible ride.
there's
Look at
no,
Boardman.
4 or 5 are
right
abreast
out
here,
the back,
going to
Boardman.
first.
Summer Sands, Barry's in front.
Bend.
That's the first breaking news. The favourite is up there as well, the Philippart de Foy. In fact, it was very touch and go favourites between this.
38 miles an hour.
This is a proper pace.
They're not
Can he
messing
get a
around
breather
here.
in? You do not want to see Laura Pearson coming up and eyeballing you. I think who's right on his outside. Gia Checker, who Nat mentioned as well. Canon Rodriguez. I'll tell you what, Boardman is way back, isn't he? Udalali as well for the Baldings. Wind operation since we last saw him. He's got a chance. Oh, This Is Us is creeping into
lovely.
it nicely, along with Silver Samurai.
Go on, Tom the Pom.
Memeto's out there as well. Kate, what's catching your eye?
Oh, hopefully still Boardman. I've just got an eye on him the whole way through. But as don't know, the front runner biaso of Haydock,
He's
especially
cruising.
on grounds like that.
He's absolutely
Will they
cruising.
peg these lot back? But
G-Rod.
Go on, Tom the Pom.
I'll tell
Get
you
it
what,
through that
Tom,
gap.
if he gets a
I
run,
don't want it.
Udalali's up there as well. The favourite
Bournemouth.
strike. Summer Sand still there. Bournemann's not liking this ground, I don't think. Gia Checker, I'm jumping off the cliff with him. Oh, This Is Us is trying, but the favourite might just have a big
Go on,
suit
Tom
on
the
for him, I
Pom,
think.
get it
It's
on.
going to be a long old final furlong. Look at This Us. He's really, really trying.
Go on.
Al Raven at the moment.
Go on,
Oh,
Tom the Pom.
Come on then, lovely Pom.
Go back,
Bournemann's
go
coming over the top. Come on,
Go
over the
on.
front.
Go back,
Do this,
go
do
back.
this.
Go on, there.
Left in front, remarkable six.
Clip-ons, he was saying.
Keep the faith. What a ride, David Allen. I thought that was a million,
yes.
Barry. 2 furlongs out. Scenes on the exchange.
Oh, can't breathe.
Unbelievable scenes, Jeff. Yeah, your favourite Alarab traded a low of 1.50, so 2 to 1 on. That was the shortest he went. This Is Us hit a low of 2.86. So just 15 to 8 before your winner Boardman came over the top and did them all. Traded a high of 8.2. I don't even think that was that was just for small money. 8.2 Boardman, but what an exciting race! Yeah, and well done to the studio panel.
Well, somehow we managed to get the
thanks, Barry.
forecast, didn't we? Not just combination
We actually
trifecta.
did. Actually did.
What a
It
team.
made us actually work a bit harder than that,
Can we
Green. That
claim
was
that?
good fun, wasn't it? Look, this guy has been the cliff horse, right, for a lot of people out there. Because when he won at Chester last year, we were like, this could be a listed horse, couldn't it?
Yeah.
And it just hasn't gone right. But I was tearing. I thought he was feeling the ground a bit.
No, he just didn't get going. He was under the pump from quite a way out then, wasn't he? He wasn't making any inroads.
get a
They
mile?
wouldn't come back from them.
He got
Yeah.
stopped in his run a couple of times.
Did he? I'd given
Yeah.
up looking by that point, Barry.
Yeah.
I thought G-Rob was going to be
It's
utterly
kind of cool
insufferable.
though, as well in a way. I know because he's not getting younger, but he's pretty versatile ground-wise now. We can actually say,
yeah.
which is great, isn't it? Because that's what you want from these horses. You want to
Well, you know,
own these horses. You want to be.
Me and Dave had this little sort of discussion
Oh, yeah,
about
'cause-
ground, don't
yeah.
we?
But I like when you see
Well,
heavy
yeah.
form, good to firm form,
Yeah.
good form. I think it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most horses go on most ground.
They do.
Yeah, exactly. Trainers are very often just afraid to actually
It
run
was,
the horses
it was
out of what they
Trushan.
think.
It was their connections that you had a pop at, wasn't it, last year?
Yeah. I just wanted to see Trushan run. I got a bit fed up with him keep being declared to run against Stradivarius and then go, the
Yeah.
ground,
Yeah.
the ground, oh no. And eventually, to be fair to them, we did see him quite a lot in the autumn. We did see him 3 or 4 times, and they
Yeah, we
ran
did.
him the other day as well at Nottingham.
Yeah.
So
Which
they
was
got a rain running
surprisingly
there,
early,
which
wasn't
was
it?
good. You know,
Well,
so,
they did have rain that day,
but he's great, isn't he, Trushan? We love
Just
him.
safe ground, isn't it? All right, we're not far away from our
That was
next at Sandown.
exciting.
Yeah.
That's the Oaksy Chase over 2 miles 7, where Mr. Fisher has another pop at it. He's on the slide, I think, but we'll get to that afterwards. This Is Us ran really, really well, by the way.
Yeah,
Look,
thanks.
we do
He
call
did
you a
run really
clown
well.
and a buffoon, and rightly so, a lot of the time. But this hot streak, I'll have a little bit of it, please. Where'd you get your tan from? I'm coming.
Yeah, no, absolutely flying at the moment. Yeah, you see, what I find you need sometimes is, particularly in this job, you can get a bit bogged down when you're looking at racing all the time. You see, now just coming off a nice little break, and you're coming off a break, you're looking at things freshly, you look at things differently.
Great Yarmouth.
Yeah, Great
That's where
Yarmouth.
we all need to go.
Yeah, we should all go to Great Yarmouth.
you go to Great
Yeah,
Yarmouth?
yeah, just come back from Great
How did
Yarmouth.
you know
yeah.
that? Did you go?
Yeah.
I asked him where his tan came from.
Oh, right.
Yeah, not Barbados, Great Yarmouth. The place to go.
I definitely prefer the Bayesian turn, let me tell you that much. But yeah, Great Yarmouth, it's a feel-good track, isn't it? You get all the Newmarket yards there.
Yeah, well, they were racing there on Tuesday.
You went?
But no, I didn't go. No,
All
I
right.
had to come home on Monday. Yeah.
What, you just spent, you went in like
We went for like a week.
camping?
No, we were in a caravan though.
Same thing.
It gets cold, really cold.
Static home.
Or towable.
Static homes, they're
No,
called now.
static. We have to do.
Static.
I can't tow. Yeah.
It just
I
freaks
can't
me out
tow.
how they all look the
What?
same.
I wouldn't know how to do it.
Oh, all the
static
caravan.
homes, they just look the same, don't they? It's like literally, you wouldn't know.
Think
you'd
about
never-
towing. Which mean
You know what though?
Towing's easy.
I'll tell you where I might go and camp is Cartmel.
Oh, it's
Gotta
incredible.
do it.
Yes.
I've never
Yeah,
done
I might do
Cartmel.
it.
My favourite
Yeah.
race courses.
I love it. Have you never been cut?
I have.
Ever
I've
have.
never been racing there, but I've been to one of the world's best restaurants there.
Sticky
Long
toffee.
Clue.
Clume.
That
Simon
is amazing.
Rogan's.
Long
Yeah, I
Clume's
was in
amazing.
I was in a wedding that was at Lake Windermere. We stopped off, and I remember thinking, next time I come back, I've got to do the double.
You can't get in there anymore. Long
You probably
Clue.
can't. You probably could.
Give it a go.
Wave the Nat Green wand. Right, okay. We are 15 minutes away from a tricky heat, but it's going to be fun, this one, Barry, isn't it? It's the Oaksy Chase. Mr. Fisher touched off by Frodon last year. Market seeming to think that Paul might have a quick double?
Yeah, 2.16 or 2.14 now and getting shorter all the time. St. Calvados with Harry Cobden in the plate. Had been as big as 11 to 4, but absolutely crashed his price has. Mr. Fisher 3.55. He's going the other way. Earn River 6.8 and it's 9 Nutswell. Just the 4 runners. Obviously, the horse I like in it. is Earn River. Into open company off the back of a fall for a novice is not something I would generally. It's not good for your health, especially your punting health. But this, I just thought he jumped the fence okay. He just stumbled a couple of yards after it, so I'd forgive him that. Prior to that, his Beakstown form is rock solid, and he is a very, very sound jumper. And he's a bit of value for my money. He's 6.4 against the likes of St. Calvados. Paul says he'll like the drier ground, but he's had his problems as well this season. Mr. Fisher is a horse that I just can't have at all. And Nutswell did us a favour earlier on in the year, Dave, when we took one on. He won the race for Brian Hughes. We took on one of Kim Bailey's, but I can't have him either. So 6.4. We're going to be a back of Earn River here. We're going to have 50 quid win on Earn River for Charlie Hammond and Nick Kent.
That was at Kelso, Barry, wasn't it?
That's right,
Which
yeah. Beat Espoir de Romay, wasn't it?
Well, there we go. We got there in the end. That was your day up there, wasn't it? Not in the Borders.
Oh, yeah.
You asked them about the spring water.
I love Scottish racing. Perth on Thursday was glorious.
It looks
I was
so
drinking
nice.
Lucinda Russell's family Edinburgh gin.
Oh, yeah.
Rhubarb and ginger with tonic. It was
Let's say it
wonderful.
like that,
It was
dude.
sunny, but it was still
Good
flipping
racing.
cold.
I've never been to Perth, but I'd like to go.
It was beautiful.
Oh, the nights
Stunning.
out. Oh,
Stunning,
I recommend
stunning
those.
race course.
Yeah.
This is the meeting to go as well, isn't it? This
Well, this is what I was going to ask people out there. You know, we talk about Cartmel, talk about Perth. Which is the best summer race course, country race course that you'd like to go to?
Yeah.
Newton Abbot, I thought was
I
all right
love
as well.
Newton
Quite
Abbott
enjoyed that.
so much. Yeah.
Stratford's nice.
Stratford, yeah, Stratford. I haven't been down there for ages. But,
Shakespeare's Country.
went down there when they had the John Corbett Cup that night. The Hunter Chase night.
I think
Oh,
it
yes.
just depends.
Yeah,
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 I
yeah.
wouldn't like Harden Jumps fans. I think that there's lots to like about the summer. It's different. But I think when you get into it, there's loads, and you can make a real thing of it, especially families and
Here
things
we
like
go.
that.
Your mate. Do you want to read it out,
Cartmel,
G?
brilliant. 10 times out of 10 will go again. Yeah, I've actually looked
Yeah.
into it. I have. I even know where I'm going to go.
You got your pitch?
Yeah, I'm going to get. Yeah, I'm going to buy a pitch.
Is it in the infield?
See, what I don't
It's usually
understand.
bank holidays, isn't it?
I'm sure someone in Cartmel will be
Yeah,
watching
they
this
miss a
because,
day
of
and
course,
then they go,
everyone
yeah.
watches. But what I want to know is, do I have to bring a caravan and a tent, or do I get one? I think I have to bring one, do
Surely
I?
they'll provide one. Surely they'll provide you one.
Well,
And
surely.
on the day they don't race, they've got like local Segway experiences.
Oh, this sounds good.
You can do archery.
Do they have a
you
zip
can
line?
eat, You can.
Yeah, you're a
zip
dab
line?
hand at a zip line now.
Yeah, I love zip line.
Oh, I don't know if we've got a zip line.
Yeah,
Across Cartmel Racecourse.
Yeah.
I'm going.
Cartmel.
May
Anyway,
20,
that
May
would be my number
29th,
one, I
May
think.
30th,
Yeah,
I
to
think
go
it
with.
is.
So
Me
good.
too.
So if anyone from Cartmel is listening, all right, and that was
Please
Devo.
invite all
Oh,
of us
Mally
then.
Draycott, good to have you
Mally!
along, Mally. He says Market Raisin is a nice little course, Dave. Yes,
Yeah.
Market
I like
Raspberry,
Market Raisin.
the locals call it, don't they? I got a mate with a box there actually, so I might try and get up there.
It's a long way.
Yeah, well, it's Lincolnshire, isn't it,
for
for
me.
us?
Horrible drive, actually. Lots of roundabouts.
We ought to do more mileage, I think, because we
Yeah.
get these guys to do a lot of mileage, don't we? Me and you've got, with
Yeah, with
Essex
Dave,
boy
when
over
it's
there.
okay now, I'm a bit tired. Oh, why? Well, it's a lot of travelling,
It's
isn't
a long
it?
way away.
Well, you will live in Cheshire. Okay, right. Andy Sim bringing it back says Mr. Fisher for me. I have to say, Andy, although Barry can't have him, and it's probably worked out rather well for Barry, I thought this was going to be justice time, not just for Kitty's light on the card, but I thought that Mr. Fisher would find this a lot easier. I know he pulled up behind St. Calvados last time, but I think he just hates Aintree, and those fences are just too much for him, those park fences there. He's going to jump better here. I know railway fences, but if you go back to his Kempton run, he just needs to come there on the bridle and then swoop, not think about it. Frodon got him at it, didn't
Yeah.
he, last year? Do you remember? I don't think St. Calvados is not a project I'm on.
Yeah. I'm in total agreement about St. Calvados. He needs to be fresh, in my opinion. I know he's a keen...
He's round evens.
Yeah, I couldn't have him on good ground. I know we talk about the juice in the ground here, but he's a son of Sunday Sons. They like more cut in the ground. I want him fresh. And like I say, the way that he just didn't pick up after travelling there on the bridle at Aintree last time out, I can't have it on this quicker turnaround with him at that price. So yeah, Mr. Fisher for me as well. I mean, he is just a solid grade 2 horse. I say
Yes.
solid. Grade 2 horse. He's not even a grade 1.5 horse. He is a grade 2 horse. And we saw that in the Silvagnaco Trophy then at Kempton, where, the start of the season then, I mean, to make your reappearance in the King George, always
Tough.
a negative on the trends.
He
Always
was
is.
back that day as well.
Why?
Well,
Yeah.
they've worked on his sort of spine problems, haven't they? I think
Yeah,
he's-
but it hasn't. But like Aintree just seems he unseated, didn't he? When he tried to make all, then last season, he hates Aintrie's fences.
He does.
But yeah, hopefully back at Sandown then. Second to Frodon. He hasn't got a horse of that calibre this year to face.
He's
so,
a Peterborough Chase winner, you know. On his day, he's quite a game horse, I think. But,
and good ground in his favour.
But he is a cliff horse like Boardman. We've just seen the cliff horse that managed to stay upright and get the job done in the last. Who's still with Mr. St Calvados has got to be a cliff horse for a lot of people. Haven't they? Is it you, Nat Green?
I think this is just really tricky. How do you? I've got an itchy eye. Who gets an itchy eye? Why does your eye itch?
It's that time of year, isn't it?
St Calvados, look, third pulled up, fifth. Mr Fisher pulled up first, fourth pulled up. I do like Mr Fisher. I like the look of him. I love Nico de Boinville, Nicky Henson. I mean, it's really hard for me to ignore Mr Fisher. I get where Barry's coming from, though. I looked at Earn River, really improving 7-year-old. I really fell in that grade 1. I think he had made a mistake at the 4th as well and then fell, was it like the 10th something, fell later on. So I don't always like to back them after a 4, but it wouldn't put me off too much with this type of horse. I just think he did 4 on the bounce in lesser races than this, and he is taking on Mr Fisher, like you said, previous winners. That concerns me slightly, so I may as well just back Nutswell then, mightn't I?
Yeah,
Could come around.
And staying with the Hamiltons.
I saw a video of Nutswell this morning, which Robert Hogarth posted on Twitter, and he was bouncing, absolutely bouncing.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
My heart wants Nutswell to win.
How many times has he run this season would be my
Nutswell to
question.
win.
This
Look,
is his 7th run.
He's got plenty of ability, but he's probably going to struggle to defy this 6-1
He'll
penalty.
find this easier than when he took on Clan, obviously, last time, won't he? But, all right. Anyone for St Calvados, G?
No, I don't really understand this horse. Do you? He always goes off shorter than he should.
He just makes his reappearance in the King George and he flatters to deceive and then it all goes wrong, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Is that
Then he has his backers, because they think, well, he'll definitely come forward to that because he has an excuse. He always has an excuse.
Yeah.
But there are people in their masses, Barry, waiting to back this bloke, aren't there?
Yeah, he's into even money now, would you believe, Dave? He's really, really strong. And it is the Nicholls factor as well. He's ever having the first winner. He has this, he has Grenadine in the next race. So there is running up money as well you need to take into account. But even money is plenty short for me. 3.9, Mr. Fisher now. He's on the slide all the time. 6-4 and River is steady at that. And 10 Nutswell, he's steady away at that. He was 9 last time we spoke. But favourites are very, very strong. I think so far there's only, $250,000, 225,000 matched in the race. And 110 of it's on him. So nearly half of the money traded on the race so far is on the favourite.
Yeah, I think this is, for a lot of people, this is a sit-out race, which is what you sometimes like to do.
Yeah, and I am sitting this
You're
way.
fencing
I
it.
haven't you?
Yeah, I am sitting this way. I just could not choose out of the 4. I mean, I thought that if Mr. Fisher, I priced the race up actually here. You can probably see it.
No, I'm not. Good Christ, I'm not a peregrine falcon.
I priced the race up.
Hawkeyes.
I priced the race up
I can't even see it now.
on best form.
Well, you've done a tissue.
CHI.
Yeah, on best form. On best form. If they all ran to their best form.
I don't understand that
And?
at all.
I've got.
Let's hear G-Rod's tissue then.
You want my tissue?
Yeah.
On
I'd
best
love
form.
it.
If they all turn up on best form.
Yeah.
0.2 to 1, Mr. Fisher. So 1 to 5.
Yeah. 1 to 5?
Yeah. 9.9 to 1 St Calvados. 12.3 to 1 Nutswell. And 37 to 1 Earn River.
A little look inside the mind of G-Rod there.
The problem is that Mr. Fisher's very, very unlikely to turn up on best form.
But if he does,
If
this
he
is
does,
over.
he's a certainty.
Yeah, well,
It's so
he's
easy to
also
pick him
I do
out, though,
like.
Dave, in the paddock. They look at him now in pictures.
He's
that
a beautiful
super
animal.
Dark, gleaming coat, and you just go, oh, you look,
Yeah. Drawn to those horses.
Drawn to that type of horse. He's just absolutely beautiful.
Tommy's Oscar going chasing for the Hamiltons. It's an exciting time of year now, isn't it? When
really exciting.
the transition's about to be made.
Yeah,
isn't it?
for your hurdlers then, which ones are we going to see over fences? With the size and scope of Tommy's Oscar, home over a fence would just be
I
amazing.
agree. Yeah.
At
I
one
backed
point
him for
considered the
champion
best
hurdle.
British
I don't know why I
champion
did
hurdle.
that. Stupidest
What,
bet.
this year? Just gone?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, if
We've
you
all
could,
had them. Confessions of a punter we should be
Yeah,
having.
if you
shouldn't we?
could class
That'd
it
be a
up.
good
that's a
combo,
good-
What's your
wouldn't it?
stupidest bet of the season? Yeah, let us know.
Nutswell at
man.
Sandown Park today.
Well, look, G-Rod says when you can't pick between 4, go for the outsider. You know, you don't want
Well,
to be going
yeah.
for the even
No,
money.
I could see any 4 of them winning.
Oh, I'm going to
honestly.
go in Nutswell.
Yes,
do
okay.
it.
Paul Nicholls, as Barry said, running up, I imagine. We pop to Leicester after this, don't we, for the listed 3-year-old. 3-year-olds, not 3-year-olds, there's just 3 runners in it, of course. But Godolphin have got one in it, as of King Power Racing. And there's a very interesting Clive Cox horse in it as well. We'll be switching our attentions next week, of course. Saturday, and Sunday. We will be with you here on RP Live covering all the glory of Newmarket, and we'll probably pop to Salisbury, don't we, as well? They have a nice car.
Yeah, on the
Cathedral
Sunday I'll be
Stakes.
in that day, and obviously I am Mr. Handicapping the stayers again this year.
Are you? We have to suffer that, do we?
Yeah, you have to suffer that all year. And on Sunday there's a big staying race at Salisbury. There is every year. It's over 1 mile and 6
They don't
furlongs,
have
I think.
stalls, do they? In that?
I don't
No,
know.
that's it.
Start.
Because oh my goodness, he ran out into the little chute, didn't he, last year in the race?
my Lord.
And won.
And one still.
Quick
Was
form,
it quick
it?
form? Your
yes.
horse?
Yeah.
Quick form.
Yeah.
Thorn.
Yeah, Melrose wasn't very happy with me because I gave him a big rating for that.
'Cause he made up so much ground.
Yeah, he made up so much ground, didn't he?
And
He
who was
went
proved
down the
right?
side and,
That
well,
was extraordinary.
the jury's out still, Dave.
Jury's out, maybe, but yeah, I remember Overturn winning it at
Oh,
Salisbury.
wow. Yeah, what a
back
horse
in
he
the day
was.
with no flags and all that sort of thing. Anyway, that's all to look forward to. This afternoon, the last race, 3:35 to 6, so plenty of time to talk in between races. Let's hear from you out there. The chat is starting to buzz up, that's for sure. How's your luck been so far? If you've been following the panel, you've pretty much done all right, haven't you? Again, no love for St Calvados out there. George Murray on the... Yeah, a lot was said about Gav Sheehan's ride in the King George. It rush of blood to the head, wasn't it, a little bit? I mean, thought the cavalry was behind him, the Indians, everything going for it, you know. He just absolutely... A lot of people are very critical of that. I mean, my eye was drawn to a lot of other horses in the race, and I've had to watch it back. But different jockey, more restraint, should win this. Who's going to lead, Kate Tracey?
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I hope it's Mr. Fisher, because St Calvados hold up performer because
Nico
he's
from
keen.
the front.
Yeah, Nico from the front then, which I just can't see where the pace is then going to come from other than Mr. Fisher, and hopefully he then gets into more of a rhythm than when he's attempted to properly make all then in the past. But that is just sort of a slight concern, but at the same time I think it would be to his benefit though anyway. If he just gets into that rhythm, he small run of field, steadies it up, makes St Calvados keen on the run downhill. Wonderful.
All right, brilliant. Look, that's so easy, isn't it, this game
Oh yeah,
sometimes?
at this stage it's
hard
so easy.
for
for
runners,
the race.
though. It's so hard because they're all going to get daylight. They're all going to have to see the fences properly. It's just going to be one of those races. It's harder. I
None
think,
of them
for
are
fewer-
habitual front runners,
No,
are they?
no, it's harder. This I don't.
Unlike Rouge Vif maybe in the next,
Yeah.
who another small field race who looks like he might be there to help Grenadine settle. I'm sure that the Brookses are hoping he wins the race, of course, the owners. The same owners of St.
You know, at the
Calvados.
start of the season, when Nicholls, he gives you your milk bottle horse. He says, this is the race for this horse.
Taken that phrase off me, haven't you? But
Yeah.
it's a good
Bottle
one.
horse. What's that mean?
Yeah,
Right.
You'll have to explain.
Alan Hill, the point-to-point trainer, the famous point-to-point trainer. Before the first point, is it? Oh God, wherever it is, Cottenham probably or somewhere like that. Somewhere it could be anywhere, couldn't it? He says
Larkhill.
it might be Larkhill, Barry. He says to his owners who go into the yard and the people, all the local vicinity, he says put a £5 each week or whatever it is you can afford into your milk bottle for this first. It's always the maiden that he tries to win. He usually wins it that year, and he says this is your milk bottle horse. So do you
The
have an
milk
anti-post
bottle
milk
horse.
bottle horse, basically, isn't it?
I like that.
You know,
Yeah.
have you got one for
Piggyback
Ascot?
horse.
Have you got one for the Ark? I don't know. Whatever we're going to.
At the start of the season, when Nicholls did his stable tour and he gave you his horse, he said Green Teen will win the
Tingle Creek.
Tingle Creek, and he did.
Yeah, he did.
And he said that Oshiala Renke would win the Portman Cup.
Yeah,
and
it did.
And he said Rouge Vif will win the celebration chase.
Blimey.
Well, he said something like, "That's its race. That's Rouge Vif's race."
Really?
Yeah, okay. And he is the
It's a
outsider
man that
at the moment,
knows.
isn't he?
Yeah.
The problem is that Rouge Vif hasn't shown absolutely anything all season.
But
which is
can you target the celebration chase from that far
that
out?
was what I thought. I read it and thought,
I think he does. I honestly think he does, yeah.
I was saying, if anyone can, Paul Nicholls definitely
Don't
is the
forget, this the celebration race which comes up at 3 o'clock has seen the likes of Altior. It's seen great horses over the years, isn't it? Do you remember that year when Willie came over still trying to win the British Championship? And he ran great horses, didn't he?
No.
I'm on
the horse?
starter. Don't mess this one
Such a
up.
great
was
horse, I've
this,
forgotten his
Dave?
name. It was one of my horses.
St. Calvados
It was
is
a
gonna
jigging
make
steel
When was
colours.
this, Dave?
Sorry?
When was this?
About 5 years ago, 6 years, maybe more, I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay, there's a jink at the
something's
start.
happening.
Whoa, St. Calvados. Is that him? They got
Fisher.
without. No,
No,
hang on,
Mr.
was that
Fisher.
Fisher? Hang on, that was an absolute Horlicks, whoever that was from. Someone jinxed us,
Fisher.
the tape went up, as you heard Barry
was
saying.
Mr. Fisher,
It was
yeah.
Mr.
Why is he
Fisher.
like
Fisher
this?
just kind of shied away.
Why
that's
does he
all.
do these
He
things?
came
What is
under
he? What?
starter's orders and he's racing.
What is in this bloke's head? But thankfully,
What goes
they are
on?
going only 29 miles an hour, although it means St. Calvados Harry Cobden, Paul Nicholls, they don't mind ripping up the tactics book, do they? When they see a race and how it's likely to pan out, and what's he gone? About 7 lengths clear already.
Oh, yeah, this is a win now, won't it?
Somehow, Mr. Fisher is in second, which doesn't say a great deal for Nutswell, does it? I mean, he can't be travelling that well under Bryony, who's already the 11-year-old, having his 7th run of the season, and Earn River, who will just be trying to hunt them around and try his luck at the end as we come to the railway fences now. What do we make of that?
Oh, just Mr. Fisher. But yeah, now I'm just sort of like, oh, well, St. Calvados, if he continues to jump around here. I mean, just trying up different tactics, which I'm actually really pleased, well, not pleased to see, because I'm not sided with him, but...
Well, it's nice to see something different, isn't it?
Yeah, something different. Yeah,
it is, and who knows, he might enjoy himself. He's not being pestered, Barry. What happened? He must, and he's walked through that one, Mr. Fisher. He must be, what, any price, is
Put
it?
River off.
Nutswell wasn't good either.
Well, it's 2's on now, St. Calvados, off the back of what happened to his closest in the market, Mr. Fisher, at the start, and he's jumping great. He's a soft lead out in front.
Yeah.
So he's 2-1 on. He's 9-4 on now. 11-2, 6.6, Mr. Fisher. Earn River 8-7, and it's 20 Nutswells. But getting a very soft up front, isn't he?
It's all over,
For
isn't
the
it?
last
literally
time
all
in the
over.
current jump season, I am going to say, get ready, put another 0 on Mr. Fisher. I'm amazed that he's only 6-1 on the machine. He does not look happy at all. We didn't see that from the start, Nat Green. I mean, he just doesn't want to be there, does he?
To be honest, Dave, I'm not sure they really want to be there at all. I mean, this is not what we particularly thought, but St. Galveston is having a lovely time up front, lobbing away. Nutswell doesn't look happy, I've got to admit. Mr. Fisher's been sketchy. He's ran through a few. He jinxed at the start. It's not, what you want to see, but this is the reality of they just it looks pretty strung out.
This is all over already. The winner's in front.
It does look like a slightly different race to the others, doesn't it? I mean, it sort of...
Not that far in front now, all of a sudden.
He's not.
He's only about 5 or 6 lengths in front.
I wonder if Harry could see behind him, whether he knew that he's...
Do you think the one point we can make horses being the way that they are is that Mr. Fisher, if he does feel anything or thinks anything, once he gets going and the adrenaline kicks in and his blood's up and he's getting a bit warmer, like he's now in a much better rhythm than he was in the earlier stages. And I've seen that a few times with some of these horses. When they warm up and they start to get into themselves, they've had a few jumps, they can just start to settle a bit more.
But isn't this summing up his career, Mr. Fisher?
Yes.
He longs you back in, doesn't he?
Yeah.
A complete summary. This
We've
is,
been
like, say, a
hooked by
micro
the Fisher.
story.
Yeah, but they're closing
I like
now,
that.
Dave.
Nicely done.
There's not an awful lot between them now, let's be honest.
It's all over.
You can see Nico's
Winners in
elbows
front.
are just having
he's
to
just-
nurse him into the
I'm
bridle.
really
the whole
surprised
way.
that he's still, what is he? I mean, he's 2's on, but look, this is St. Calvados who can curl up, I suppose. And as I always learn every week, Barry calls me the worst in-running judge out there, but for me, he's had a good look. Oh, yeah, Nutswell
Oh,
dived at that. I
goodness
wouldn't be
me.
surprised if he's
It's
got a
not
P
his
next to his name,
day.
that.
It's not
He
his
just does it. He just likes a tight track,
Yeah.
doesn't he? Like this just isn't his kind of track.
This
He likes
so,
some
it
kelsos.
looks like start of his comfort zone.
In hindsight, you wonder how much he's here to
Yeah.
support
Run off his
Brian
feet,
as
yeah.
well.
He's run off his feet, Dave, absolutely.
Yeah, he's not live in
Yeah.
life. I think the 11-year-old will be out to summer grass after this.
These fences will be telling. These will be telling now.
Perhaps the one who's kind of ridden to plans so far, isn't
Yes,
he?
yeah, who has been... Oh,
great
Mr. Fisher.
jump,
fair
St. Calvados
scope.
there.
See, he has scope. Why does he bust fences when he has that scope?
Because
It's
he reminds me weirdly, I don't know why, he really reminds me of Mike Bite. I promise you, they're just quirky. Mike Bite was Scorpion, but
a
when
Jeremy,
he winged
yeah.
it, he absolutely winged it. And
But you look at St. Calvados, he doesn't hold his head convincingly, does he?
no, what do
Always
you
sort
mean
of at an
leans,
angle.
always lean.
He ain't going to come off the bridle here.
That's well enough.
He's loving this.
Yeah,
He's
he is.
loving
He
it.
is loving life, yeah. Earn River, I'd say,
Would
would
you be a
the
backer
danger.
at 2 to 5?
Yeah, this is a backer all day. This is already 101. This
I
is
mean,
a
you
win.
did say it's unlikely that Mr. Fisher would turn up in his best form and sufferably have the looks of being right. But again, he's only, 3 off? And again, he's kind of the proven stayer in the pack, really. I mean, Nutswell, obviously, but
I'm surprised Nutswell's still going.
over the railway
River-
fences we
ooh.
go there. And again, St. Calvados just dumped it out. I don't know, Earn River for me
And
might
Rivers
be the
just
one.
started doing a few things that I was
Can't have
fearful
Earn
about
River.
of Sandown.
You can't have him, Barry. He's your pick. He's about to go
Yeah, but he's
second.
come into 5.3, but everything's such a struggle for him even to try to get into contention. You know, the one in front's getting everything his own way. If he makes a mistake, there might be a race in this, but
He's a
Mr. Fisher won't be winning it, and Earn
No,
River, I think, will
he's
struggle.
gone.
It's 3's on now.
He's officially rated, Earn River, Barry's going to say £13 lower than St. Calvados. If South Calvados does not come up this hill in front, something is seriously
But I
wrong.
think that
Houston,
rating
we
is
have a problem.
inaccurate for him, though. I think River's much better than that. I think that he hasn't fully shown his true hand. This is going to be the test
He's
for him.
trying his
But when
arse
he's
out.
under pressure, he jumps out to his left, which
Where
was
are
going to
we?
be the
very
concern.
famous
Yeah,
the world
pond
famous
fence.
pond fence. Here
Nico
we go.
and Charlie are
Over
both
he
really
goes. And
animated
again,
to
Mr.
get them
Fisher, he's
going.
Come on,
trying.
Fisher.
Not beat yet,
Oh
maybe.
man, I mean, this
Come
couldn't
on,
be
Fisher.
Bournemouth again, could it?
Oh, believe
there's
me, I
another
would.
zero on
St.
this
Calvin
chat.
just had a bit of reminder. Come on.
Again, St.
Come on,
Calvin
the
just gets
Fisher.
cleared, doesn't he?
Keep
Owen River now
staying on.
feeling the pinch.
Whoa.
Great jump,
Oh,
St.
he could have
Calvin
done
off
with
the
a
Fisher.
better
Mr.
stride
Fisher, pick his back
there.
legs up there.
No, there's no stride. He just
got
can't go in
some
short.
engine,
He
the
just
Fisher,
can't
isn't he?
go in short.
Come on,
Three,
bar
one
a fall.
on
This is what
50s
Barry
on the
says.
last
Just the
jump.
last. He's
Way
booting him
all
into
over
it.
101.
Over he
Come on,
goes.
get up.
Oh, and this is St. Galvados' day in the sun. He was even money before the start. We couldn't have him. Loads of people on the track saying, keep the faith. Mr. Fisher won't turn up and we will get the money. Congratulations if you were one of them. And guess what? 2 races at Sandown. The champion trainer has walked home in both of them with Harry Cobden as well. Cobby and Nicholls loving life in Esher. Barry, I guess it was the tail from the flag, wasn't it?
G-Rod called it after going to furlong. He said, this is all over. 101, play only. And, you know, he was 2 to 5 till turning into the straight. You could still back him at 1 to 3 with just 2 to jump. And he's absolutely slooshed in, hasn't he? Mr. Fisher didn't give himself any chance whatsoever. And Earn River, it's the end of a long season for him. I'd say mathematically that's Paul Nicholls probably definitely champion trainer now.
Yeah, I mean, what's that 13th championship he's got?
Amazing.
13th, yeah.
And when he's not, and in the time that he's been training, or was it? I saw some stat the other day
Ooh.
that whenever he's finished second to Nicky, he's been, you know, he's never been out of the top 2. Is what I'm trying to say. Do you know what I mean? In all those last 15
Oh yeah,
years, that is
he's
just remarkable,
amazing,
isn't
isn't he? Yeah.
It's
And-
funny that Mr. Fisher spooked there. I'm just watching the replay and there wasn't see anything. He just.
I mean, it sounds a bit obvious, but I think it's done the winner a huge favour because obviously he's got at least a 7-8 length head start.
Has he won that
straight
by
off the bat.
default?
And once he got out on his own, he had nothing around him. He
But
just
I don't want to be
he
too
wasn't
down
keen.
on St. Calvados because it was pre-race and he's gone through the races and he's jumped, he came up, he's done everything.
If we had eggs in the studio, we'd rub a little bit on our faces, wouldn't we?
I prefer to do that rather than someone cracking one over my head.
yeah, me too. But hey, look, this is racing.
That jump 2 out was lovely sight.
He was
and
great to watch,
yeah.
wasn't he?
He
there?
was.
Yeah,
he jumped beautifully.
around. And he
Brilliant.
wasn't keen either when he's been held up in behind. That's why he's been held up, is because he's previously been a keen horse. But he's just been in his own little world out there today.
Yeah.
He just
Yeah,
jumped
it's
beautifully.
hunting round.
And yeah, he's just hunted around where he probably would have won anyway. Because it looked as though Harry Cobden wanted to go forwards on him anyway. He may well have extended and gone away, but he would have at least had a bit of pace pressure from
Yeah, I think he
Mr.
would have won
Fisher.
anyway.
I think he would have won anyway, but I'm just
Feel better.
annoyed. I'm just annoyed at that race. It's a grade 2, and I'm just annoyed at it. But
Why?
because it was just very
The three jumped
unsatisfactory.
so badly,
because
Dave.
literally
It's
after
like
a
watching
furlong,
awful.
the race was all over from St. Calvados out in front, where, as I say, he would have won anyway, I think, because he was lined up with different tactics, which clearly have suited him to much better effect. But it was just so unsatisfactory of just a procession of 4 horses going around grade
You think
2.
it's not worthy of its title then?
Not this year, certainly not, but a fair few
But that
grade
can
2s
happen
haven't
in
been
races,
this year.
I suppose,
Of course
can't
it can, but the other 3 jumped pretty abysmally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That wasn't.
And he was a sight to behold. Don't get me wrong. Not to take it away from St. Calvados. He has jumped beautifully there, and I'm pleased to see the fact that the horse has now come back and shown his true quality. But at the same time, he hasn't had anything really to prove against. There's been no adversity for him throughout that race.
Well, and a lot will be said about the start, G, I suppose. There's a lot of social interaction going out there. And Dean Burke, we saw you out there, and you said, fast your race. I'm going to say it like Dean's probably saying it. Fast your race.
Farcical.
Starter could still have brought them back. What is it? Farcical? What are you laughing for? What have I said? What have I shocked you?
Oh, you make me laugh every day. So
No, I
The
thought that
weird
was
thing is though, and you know, I love a start and a starter. The weird thing is that they're very keen to have full starts in like big fields, and you see it happen a lot, and then something ridiculous like that happens, and they don't call them back, and you're like, well, they call them back 10 a
Would
penny.
you,
at the
would you
time
have
of
expected
festival.
him to call him back there? See, I wouldn't have.
I
at
wouldn't,
all.
Kate.
No,
I don't know how
no.
they could.
They were under
Definitely
starters'
no way.
orders.
He's come under starters' orders, and he's just jinked a little the horse. There's nothing the starter can do about that.
No, the tape.
Dean,
yeah, yeah.
I know you're frustrated out there, but Barry is, once again, the voice of reason, really.
But the problem is that yes, he's made the mistake and he's sort of jinked. But by jinking, he's almost caused the other 2 problems because they've had to move out of his way and they've lost ground at the start. And meantime, St. Calvados has gone. So yes, I mean, Mr. Fisher's come under starters' orders, but it's not really a fair start because the 2 horses in behind him have been hampered by him doing that.
They weren't hampered though, Graeme.
They did have to manoeuvre to get around him, I think.
They were never lining up to make all the way the winner was.
So you think that the jockeys in behind just went, oh, well, we'll let him have a freebie then?
They saw the way the winner was lining up, and they were happy enough that Mr. Fisher was going to track him, and Nutswell and Earn River were going to track the two of them then and try to pick up the pieces. That's the way they were lining up, my money.
Yeah, and it is one of the most infuriating things out there, Dean, and all you out there that are watching that are, you know, just wanting to go for a bit of fresh air after that and thinking, why? We are talking about livestock animals are very, very difficult to stop and bring back. And when it happens that quickly, Kate, I mean, I've been in point to points, used to do my head in. You could see the horse wasn't going to jump off. And yet, because he's down with the start and they've let him go, it's, you know, you go to your bookie and say, oh, that's void then. Under starter's orders, I'm afraid.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know, he's,
I know,
but
that's the
you've
worst
just got to
part.
swallow it and move on.
That's where the bookies come into their own. They're very good with fair play bets and things like that, then aren't they, and payback specials and things like that. But it's a nightmare. I've actually
That would be too generous there, though, wouldn't it? Surely.
Oh yeah, I would
That
say
was in
so,
Fisher's
because that was in his
doing.
own head, and you kind of all know what Mr. Fisher's like. So yeah, no, I think that was I sided with him, and I don't have any.
On this
qualms.
show, we must have a yin to everyone's yang, and you are once again
No,
being the yin.
I just think that he hadn't done the other two horses any favours at all, and it was a mess.
Yeah. Okay, right. Well, we move on because talking about a mess, there's been lots said, Barry, hasn't there, about these small fields on the flat. Of course, there were 3 yesterday at Sandown in the Group 2 there, which, whatever his name was, won. The Hamdan, also the Shadwell horses now we call them.
Mustadahat.
Who did look
What's
very
his
good,
name?
by the way.
Gosh.
But Barry, once again, Edrach is out, who of course ran on the all-weather just 8 days ago. Here we are. This race is usually well subscribed, and we've got 3 here.
Yeah, headed by Path of Thunder, who's at 2.10, 11 to 10, 3.39 to 4 Happy Power, and Aratus 4.3. Like you say, Ardak's a non-runner. I don't know what it's down to, Dave, but I'm taking on Path of Thunder anyway at the price, please, G-Rod. Happy to be a price taker here as well, 2.12. We're going to take 100 quid of the backer stake out of him. He won Newmarket July Handicap off 92. It was very disappointing in the Goodwood Mile when he was sent off favourite there, but they gave the ground as an excuse. Then he's gone to the Maidan. He's won a race. He's finished 4th and 3rd in the 2 others. I don't know how good that Maidan form is, but I'm willing to take a chance here with the likes of Happy Power and Aratus. Definitely Happy Power. I thought his run back was very, very nice indeed behind Tinker Toy and Wolves.
Yeah.
His last run. And obviously Aratus is an improving horse as well with Adam Kirby in the plate. So I'm happy to take the favourite on here at just 11 to 10 against. I think he's going to drift as well.
I'm with you, Barry. If I was pressing the lay button on any horse today, it would be this chap. So I'll give you a chance to back it, everyone out there. But Happy Power for me was a little bit unlucky actually when he went to that Lincoln trial at Wolverhampton.
I'll tell you, I think you're a brave man if you're hitting the lay button on anything that Charlie Appleby's training at the moment. I mean, he's incredible.
Probably a bit like laying Mullins at Cheltenham, isn't it? We do it every year and then we get
I'm about over the last week or so, I've gone in thinking, God, this Appleby horse is too short. This Appleby, and then they just win. Yeah, I'm like, oh, you know.
Well, the Gold
amazing.
Spur yesterday in the Classic trial got turned over, didn't he?
Don't get me wrong,
I
I backed Happy Power as my nap. I think he's by far the best form in the race, and he should win.
Happy Power.
Oh yeah, should win. Happy Power.
It's because it's Happy Power. He doesn't look like he wins that much.
But you know, I am massively worried about the Appleby effect. Massively worried about the Appleby effect.
All right.
Because these horses are just winning, aren't they? They're just winning.
I think Appleby might be worried about the G-Rod effect. You're not hitting the horse where your luck is at the moment.
Someone
I think you're
ask him,
looking
please.
forward to this drinking challenge, Barry, because you're certainly stoking the fire. That's for sure.
You
That's
two are
coming
going
up.
to be so
We
good.
will get the cameras in the Thirsty Bear. Don't worry about that. Kate, Tracey, bring back some parity in orders, please, to this panel.
Yeah, I'm taking on Path of Thunder though as well. For all that,
Yes.
I totally agree with G-Rod about the Charlie Appleby form, where they are so difficult to take on at the minute. But I think that's then reflected in his price, because I know he's the second highest rated in here, £1 less than Happy Power, but Maidan form, bigger fields of runners as well. How's that going to translate to this? So that price, I'd take him on. Happy Power, he's brilliant away from Group 1 and Group 2 company. Anything below that, Happy Power is a very solid horse, but I may prefer a little bit more juice in the ground for him. So
Yes.
Aratus.
Well, you can't have everything, Kate, I suppose,
No.
but if it was softer, he definitely would be favourite here, I think, wouldn't he? Frizzy Red joins the show. Good to have you back. I think Happy Power has a great chance in this. Next one, Path of Thunder is a handicapper, isn't he? Not, I suppose, like Aratus. The fact they're running Aratus here is quite interesting, that, because all he does is win. But off a mark of 102 going into his 4-year-old season, this is Twilightville or not, really, isn't it?
Yeah, people shouldn't listen to me on this race. I should have just said I'll sit this one out because Happy Power has been so unlucky for me. Honestly.
This is another cliff.
This is my cliff. This is my cliff horse. This horse has done my absolute nutting. So I'm not backing it because of that. So I actually wouldn't listen to me in this race.
Well, that's always a good sign. Like if it's a cliff horse, then you don't back him. That's the time he wins, isn't it?
Oh no!
They're all on him.
Happy
you know,
Power,
so surely.
Happy Power and Mondamege. I'm just sick of it. I've had enough.
Mondamege.
They always say
Mondamege.
back the outsider of 3. I actually can see the love for Erratus in this. Genuinely, I really can. But I'm gonna. This is so boring. Like I said, I should have sat this out. I'm going to stick with Path of Thunder. Charlie Appleby can do no wrong. I either think it's good or bad when they come over from Maidan, but they've had a lot of sun on their back. They're often feeling really well. Their coats are advanced. So I think it can actually occasionally be a positive, and if I'm going to pick it on occasion, it's going to be with Charlie Appleby.
It's a bit like when they've had a week in Great
Yeah,
Yarmouth.
exactly. Yes, and you come back and you feel
Look at
lovely,
refreshed.
Ah,
Get a
come back,
few
Happy
winners.
Power again. I'm ready for him.
The Path of Thunder of the tipster.
Yeah.
It's a version of Path of Thunder.
Except he's been in Dubai and I've been in Great Yarmouth.
Jockeys are interesting here, aren't they?
Yeah.
I'm seeing. Is it someone on the
But
chat
how terribly
just said
boring,
about
because
William
would
Buick?
I back Path of Thunder even money? But I think Path of Thunder's the winner. Happy Power's just, as I said, done my head in. But 3 runners, it's just disappointing stuff, really, isn't it?
I always remember...
But Dave, all the jockeys, I mean, to me, this is a dream. Buick, Probert, Adam, I mean, they're just...
The best.
Every horse has their level, don't they? And this is Happy Power's level, week 3 runner race.
But a lot of people would have him down as once again blowing an opportunity on the all-weather, because not really. Well, he wouldn't really be an all-weather horse. This is a horse that can run in Champions Day in the Group 1 sprint and stuff. He's of that calibre animal. But if you watch that back, they got first run on a lot of that card, didn't they? And we covered it, of course. And he did run well. I'm with Barry on that. I'd like to have him running for me. Erratus, we just don't know. No. So again, but a marker 102. Where do you go?
But if he just has a £5 fine with Happy Power that he can gain on the back of that gelding operation, and then £6 then with £6 with it with Happy Power, and then the £5 with Path of Thunder, then if the gelding operation ekes out any more of him. And last year, he was winning against the bias. At Newbury, he managed to win against the bias and on his penultimate start there as well. That was really impressive. And then he's just a horse who is so upwardly mobile, so likable. I mean, the only defeat in his career was on debut when Clive Cox has, thanks to Professor Mount, has an awful record with his newcomers at Newbury, an absolutely awful record there. So the fact that this lad at 33-1 managed to finish second, you could upgrade him on that basis. Yeah. And he just should have far more to come. Yeah, well,
Paul Keeley loves Erratus. He absolutely adores him. So, it could just be the one that, the up-and-comer, couldn't he, against a couple of horses that pretty much found their level. Path of Thunder, of course, came back from Maidan. And as G says, it's Appleby. All these trainers are in form, actually. All solid, in-form trainers and solid, in-form jockeys. 3 runners, but this is a good firm, isn't it?
Yeah, but
Buick Appleby, Probert Balding, Kirby Cox.
It depends how you want to play it. It'd be great to hear from people how there is a thing when a lot of people like the outsider of 3. There is a thing that'll follow the Charlie Appleby yard in. There is people that will get a love for Happy Power. So it'd be fascinating actually to hear. Have we got any social interaction, Dave Orton?
Well, I am asking for a bit of it actually.
I like to hear what people. Yeah,
a lot of people. There are some people out there remarkably agreeing with you.
Oh, really?
What's for Dinner says, good choice, Nat knows. What about that? I have a soft spot for the King Power horses racing at Leicester as well, obviously.
Yeah.
I like that frizzy red out there. Erratus for a few people out there as well. A lot of people saying about Will Buick, big year for him, of course. Is it penalty kick?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
But he is riding. He is riding up there with the best flat jockeys we've seen in a long time, isn't he?
Yeah, we have, haven't we, actually? God, I mean, David Probert himself is just wonderful.
And they are off and running then. Caught us on the hop because there's only 3 of them, but we're off at Leicester then. It is Path of Thunder, the lay for many, apart from Nat Green, who, look at Erratus, he's nice and keen, isn't he? Happy Power's settled beautifully then after a couple of furlongs. Barry, I'm assuming with Path of Thunder in front, he's probably just broken that even money mark, has he?
Coming to stand.
Yeah, he's 5 to 4 on 1.80, 2.8 happy power, 8.6 Aratus.
I'd be very
Oh, he's
happy with the power
running
now.
away.
This
'cause
is a
he's
weird race,
He
isn't
has
it?
settled the best. Now, Aratus has come stand side. You can see this at
gonna
Leicester,
run.
and the stand side's often the place to be. They're
I'm
kicking
happy
up
with
the
my
turn.
horse.
They're
He looks a
going
right
really
unit.
fast, aren't they?
Hamilton's
They're
looks
going.
so
They're
powerful.
absolutely trapped. I'd be really happy with the power
Yeah,
here
I'm
because he's
quite happy,
settled
yeah.
best. But it is Path of Thunder. What do you reckon,
No,
Kate?
I haven't been happy with Aratus so far. For all that, I do like the stand.
On the
side better
power.
than- But
Pick him up.
All right,
keep
3 runners.
going.
But our minds are frizzied.
Come on, Pat.
Come on, a
Oh,
power.
come on, the happy power. Look
Come
at
on,
the
the
bridle.
power.
The rest are rowing away. David Prober, do not get there too
Come on,
soon,
the-
he's thinking.
come on, the
This is a
David.
hill as well at Leicester,
no.
don't forget.
Go on, Happy.
Stiff finish. Come on, the power.
no.
Surely
Happy.
this is like a jumps
Yeah,
finish.
easy.
They are absolutely
Easy.
walking the power at Leicester. We've
Easy.
got it.
Come
on, Pat,
He's
don't
gone
let
to the
him
front.
do
Path
it.
of Thunder is trying.
Hold on, what's going
The
on?
lay button was the one to press on Path of Thunder because
Yeah,
Happy
no,
was
easy,
having
easy,
his day in the
easy.
sand.
Easy.
Natty, no chance. Look at this. This was
Leave it.
easy. Horse settles best, wins. They blew themselves apart. Aratus very disappointing. Well done, Barry. You took a hot favourite and you knew.
Yeah, he's done well at the finish, really, hasn't he? Your favourite trade at the low is 6 to 4 on 1.66 for small money. Betfair SP of the winner was 3.39. Betfair SP of the Path of Thunder, your favourite was 2.28, so 5 to 4. So we win 100 quid, thankfully.
Well done, Barry. Happy days for the charity out there. ROR, Retraining of Racehorses. Great stuff. We bid farewell to Leicester, just the one we go there. A taste of the flat and what's to come. Of course, we'll be back next Saturday and Sunday here on Racing Post Live with Betfair along the way. Sponsoring loads of the card there as well in Newmarket. Really looking forward to it coming up. Classic time here, Saturday and Sunday. But it's back to Sandown. We must go because we rapidly approach the well-named Celebration Chase. Before we move on, Nap landed.
Yep, Nap landed.
First, second Nap.
Yeah. What do you mean?
We set out the
Oh yeah,
penultimate
no,
races.
2 winners.
What do you mean?
There are 2 winners and a
Riesling.
Oh,
third.
with the second, you were second, weren't you? What was
No, he was third.
That was he
wasn't
third. Sorry,
I
of
think
course.
he
Oh,
was
this is
third.
us.
This is us was third, but still 2 winners out of 3.
First, third Nap.
Yeah, well, there's still got. How many more have I got tips to come? Have I got 2 more?
Celebration
2.
in the Gold Cup does
Yeah,
2.
well, they'll both win as well. Yeah, so
I love
they're
this
flying now.
outfit so much.
He's in insufferably good form. All right, Kate, well done. Happy power.
I wasn't on Happy Power.
Weren't you?
Thanks though, but no.
You should have taken that.
I
I'd have
know.
taken that.
I was thinking that, but then again, this is recorded and you can watch it back, so I couldn't get away with it,
Was it Path of
unfortunately.
Thunder for you as well?
No.
Aratus?
Yes.
Okay,
Let's
I
see,
was
Dave
listening.
was listening, wasn't he?
Yeah,
I was
thanks,
listening.
Dave. Thanks,
I've got
Dave.
a lot going on here. I'm sort of like a DJ. I'm controlling lots of things going on here.
Multitasking.
No,
He is
I can't
DJ,
multitask.
DJ Orton.
DJ Orton, David John.
David John.
Very good.
Are you?
DJ.
I am.
Really?
I used to love that when I
Orton.
was a kid. Can't
husband
DJ to
is
save my
DJ.
life though.
Dominic John.
Yeah.
So
DJ,
if you-
DJ, both DJ.
If you were a trainer, you'd
Dave
be
Jennings.
DJ Alton on the card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
DJ Jeffries.
I manage my under-7 football team, and I have DJO on my
Do you?
initials.
Do you
there.
have
And
like
when I put that
a
top on,
championship
honestly,
manager?
it's like Banana Man. I am there. It's good to
Will
go.
you please wear that to the show one day?
I can do.
Please,
I can do.
please do.
I can do. You never know the temperature in here.
You
but,
change into a whole different persona when
Sea
you get
Green
to your...
United, that's me.
managerial
Oh, Devo
role.
comes back. Anyone on the panel going to the Guineas? Really looking forward to visit on Sunday. Sunday, you're in here on Sunday, aren't you, G?
Yeah, I am going, but I will have to go on the Saturday because I've been drawn into the office to come and do this with you on the Sunday, aren't
So
I,
you are
Dave?
going to go and watch who win the Guineas?
Native Trail,
Nature
obviously.
Trail wins the Guineas.
Yeah.
Is it Appleby? You're in here next week as well,
No.
aren't you?
I don't
Okay.
know.
I
I
think
don't
I've got
think
it on the
so.
rotor. All right, okay. Are you going to the Guineas?
No, I'm Punchestown next week, so I will be recovering.
We're definitely not getting Kate into the studio next
Is
week.
anyone going to
breaking news.
Punchestown next week as well?
Keely's going.
Yeah, Keels is going.
Barry, are you going to dip your toes into the Punchestown waters?
I'll be in Punchestown and I'll be in Newmarket for 3 days as well. So I have the best of both
Wow.
worlds, a foot and boat camps.
All right for
Yeah.
some, isn't it?
Brilliant.
I love it. All right, great. So, because a huge sponsorship, of course, Betfair next week. Okay. Well, thanks for that, Will. And thanks for that, Devo. Yeah, Guineas winners. Native Trail, we were just all
Definitely.
Native Trail.
Definitely.
I've got a
love
funny
him.
feeling Caribus is going to do
No.
something.
Freaky
No,
Caribbean.
he won't.
Luxembourg will do them all, lads.
Oh!
One day, the Triple Crown.
No.
Luxembourg.
Triple crown, Barry.
Believe the
it
promos.
out. Leave it out, Barry. No
Jamie
way.
Philby, who's doing the social. Let's get that.
The G-Rod statement right there.
No
By
way,
Barry.
Barry. No.
It is. Are we going to have a charity match?
He's not. He's not
The
going
odds
to
are heavily stacked against Barry for once here.
He's not going to beat Native Trail, is he?
What?
I've loved all
No.
the chat about it. Other people saying not
G-Rod,
much
will you lay
between.
me?
Come on. Barry?
What price you lay me Luxembourg to win the Triple Crown?
To the Triple Crown? I don't know about.
Yeah.
This is for charity.
What?
I guess he's about 10s, is he? I don't know. What are you offering? What are you offering?
What? He's nearly not to win the Guineas.
You might want a bit more than that. Yeah, but you got his tissue about Mr. Fisher
With your
being fines
earpiece
on.
there, like you didn't hear me.
Yeah. That was a hospital
Decent
pass
price.
there.
What price will he be? What price do you give me him to win the Triple Crown, Luxembourg?
I don't think he'll win the Guineas, will he? You know. So,
Yeah,
Tom
so what?
Tom
You
Seagull
put-
thinks
you
he
put
will
a
be
zero on the end of the 10, then, would you?
he's got, you know, he can't be any
On the end of the 10,
shorter
I'll have
than
a
12,
quid on
can
for
he?
the injured jockey spot. I'll have a quid on for the injured jockey spot. 100 to 1.
There you go.
Crown, Luxembourg, and I'll have a quid on.
Love it.
Hold
I
on,
absolutely
it's
love
not set your own odds here.
it. Actually, this is the game we play, G-Rod, so it actually is.
Set your own odds.
Oh, don't we love this? These two occasionally do this. If you're new to the show, welcome along. We can see you watching out there. Dave Orton, Kate Tracey, Nat Green, Graeme, Rodway, and big hitter himself from Betfair, Barry Orr, along the way. And Barry is hot with delay, so we must go on without delay to the celebration chase. Barry, are we Grenadine, are we Nube Negra, or one of the others?
Are we Rouge Vif, which apparently wins?
Yeah, I was fancying So Roll to place, would you believe? I know he ran it last year. He was a 3-1 chance he finished third. But Grenadine obviously sets a very high standard here. 2.58, Nuba Negra 2.56. They can't separate them at the head of the market. Rouge Vif, I can't have. He's currently trading at 22, 6.6 So Roll. Sky Pirate at 30 as well. Has it all to do on rating Sky Pirate, although first time tongue tie and cheek pieces could help his chances. But what we're going to do here, please, G-Rod, just in the place market, I want to be with So Royal, currently trading at 5-4 against. We're just going to have a 25 quid So Royal in the place market. I know he's a 10-year-old now and everything, and his third to Fakir Dudariz in Aintree. He was second to Fundus Sabola in the Betfair Game Spirit, and he's held his form well all season, and I think he'll definitely be there or thereabouts. Obviously just a 5-runner, so 2 places here.
I never like going against So Raw. I never like opposing him. I
No.
find it tough.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
If you had to own a horse, said to Keels
Oh,
yesterday.
yeah.
That's what my
He's the
notes say.
We're becoming aligned. It's only taken a
If
year.
you could own a horse,
Really?
how much fun
Oh, he'd be the best horse.
wouldn't he
to own.
be? Just tremendous.
Fences,
Yeah,
hurdles.
he's amazing, he is.
Yeah.
And I've tipped him. Yeah.
Oh!
You think so?
I think he'll win, yeah.
Not often we have
really?
agreement from
I
the
think
Big
he will.
Bear in Dublin, but it has indeed happened on
I
So
think that
Royal.
this is his ground.
Got his ground,
And he
no
jumps
problems with
well.
the track.
He's back to 2 miles here, that's his distance. And
Last 10-year-old to win this race?
I don't think that Green Teen and Nubin are outstanding. They're good horses, but they're not outstanding.
I think we know that, though, don't we?
I mean, Green Teen
That
is.
wasn't,
a
you
good
said that
all-round
like you
Sandown.
wanted to cause a bit of rattle cage, but we know that, don't we?
Well, I mean, but the odds don't suggest that, are they? The odds are suggesting that Nubin and Green Teen are a different class to So
Do you think it's because people like Nubi Negra we know is great fresh? That's like an angle, isn't it? Where people be like, yes, you know, running fresh, he's been, you know, lovely, such a smart chaser. So I can see how it goes, but maybe we're underestimating our
Yeah, I mean, I did an alternative tissue and made So Raw favourite.
Can we hear your alternative tissue?
You want my alternative
Please,
tissues
yes.
on everything?
yeah.
I'm enjoying these.
Oh, you've done them on all
Good
races?
today.
I've done them on all the races, yeah. Yeah, I
This
do
is
this
a
most
thing.
of the time. I just don't
This is a
tell
thing.
you. 2-1 So Royal,
Yeah.
9-4 Nubi Negra,
Yeah.
3-1 Green Teen, 10-1 Sky Pirate, and 150-1 Rouge Vif.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay. There's always a wow after this because, I mean, all right, that's interesting, isn't it? Let's get some social up then. I'm hearing that they're out there, I think. Who's coming on? Let's have a look before we react to that. Toon 2020, HWTL. The unsufferable tunes out there at the moment. Nap of the week coming up. Nube Negra, fill your boots. Is anyone on the Nube?
Tentatively not.
Tentatively not is how I would play this.
Yeah, I'm completely between. I take the 3-1 about Grenadine for sure, G.
Same.
Yeah, no, I like that a lot, but it is between the pair of them. Mad that none of these horses in this Grade 1 2-mile chase ran in the champion chase on their last start. And of course, we know then that Nube Negra does come here fresh, which is just an angle which the Skeltons have said all season with plenty of their horses is an angle they want to take forwards. And I think this better ground will obviously seem to a better effect,
Yeah.
good course form, but I'm still siding with Grenadine, though, the ultimate course specialist. I mean, he's finished, what, 6th, 2nd, 1st and 1st then. 4 starts at Sandown. First, the 6th was on his debut, stable debut then. And then he's finished 2nd in the Tingle Creek 2020. He then won last year's celebration chase at the hands of, at the demise of Altion, no
Sent
less.
him off, didn't he, of course?
Yeah. And then obviously in the Tingle Creek, where I know plenty of salt can be chucked then at the Tingle Creek form because Chacun Poursoir disappointed. They probably set it up front with Hitman and Chacun Poursoir for a closer. And that's what he then was. Obviously, he had Nube Negra 12 lengths behind him, but soft ground. And he did disappoint last time out, but that's when Paul Nicholls' form was awful at the DRF. The 2 horses he sent over just ran no race.
Yes. Now, I was going to add nothing to that.
And Bryony Frost went up the inside when all the other jockeys went up the outside.
And Paul,
twice.
I was lucky
Two or
enough
three
to
times.
talk to Paul about this, and he said to me, "We think he got some mud in his eye." Because I said, "Should I be asking you about Grenadine for the champion chase in a couple of weeks' time?" He said, "No, we're not going to run him. He's got something wrong with his eye." They thought he got a mud ball in his eye or something because they went up the inside. Something was irritating his eye.
Yeah, that's horrid.
It kept him out.
He looks tremendous in pictures, Grenadine.
Yeah. Well, you'd have thought that Nube Negra was going to run there as well. He won the Schlur chase, of course, didn't he? But that has not worked out at all.
No.
I do really like Green Team, especially at Sandown. He's really good all
Well, you were one of the highlights of the jump season, of course, wasn't it?
Yeah, I did write in my column that Green Team was the bet of the year for the
And
Tingle
Keeley
Creek.
usurped you because he put it up at 12s and they carried him out of there, didn't they?
Yeah, right. Keeley and I were at Sandown that day, and I put up Green Team as the bet of the year in my column. I actually quoted...
Not my mate Mozzie.
No, I actually quoted him. You can go back to my column on the Monday before the Tingle Creek in the Racing Post, and it says Green Team is the bet of the year. That is the actual quote. Keeley tipped it, and everyone just came out saying, "Oh, well done, Keels! Great tipping, Keels! Great tipping."
Yeah,
well, great tipping, Keels. I'm sitting there going, "Oh, didn't get any love. Didn't get any love.
The bear didn't get any love.
No love.
Bring it back
Gave
again.
it all to the other bear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the other bear Keels got it all.
Keeley Bear.
Keeley Bear.
Keeley Bear.
Don't call him that. He's going to punch us down as well. If he comes back, it will be a 101 gubbed. Okay, all right. So lots of really good social interaction out we can see there. You've given my case, absolutely. It's a price thing for me. If I could go to G-Rod bet and have some of that 3-1 and more than a fiver on, I might be going for a tenner. What about Nat Green?
It is a price thing, isn't it? So what would I get then if I did Grenadine to win and So Royal in second?
Cool. Now you're asking
Straight.
me.
Straight.
You're going for
Do
the...
it.
The
going
last
for
time
the-
she did this, by
Yeah.
the way, you knocked
Why
out the park.
not? Because, you know, I'm not
You're
the
It's
not
the
great...
end of season.
Last day at
You're
school.
not going to throw a third in as well.
No, well,
Why not throw So Royal and then we can have another trifecta?
yeah, well, I do like
You
Last
can
my...
bet
time.
that forecast, Natalie, on Betfair Exchange. Obviously, you can bet that forecast. So what are you looking for? Grenadine to beat So Royal?
I think I am, Barry.
To beat 4 is currently trading at 7.6, so 13-2.
And I say it all the time. This is what I love about Betfair, all the little nifty different things you can do. And it's great. Yes, I'll take that, Barry. Thank you very much.
And Barry is loving you all of a sudden. Yeah, all right, been taken.
You can
Promoting
come
out
again.
the use of the
That's what I
exchanges.
like. I like that you can do different
Yeah.
things because it is a bit of a... I mean, you could just go on any. So that's what... Yeah, I'm going to go for... Oh, I'm going to go for it.
It rubs
I'm
off on
living
them
about
occasionally,
I'm
Barry.
living about
Yeah.
Path of Thunder, so let's get
All
this
right, so
done.
let's mention the other two. So we know that we know that they'll, on their best, there's not a lot between them. But Rouge Vif we're expecting to pretty much lead. Of course, St Calvados, Charlie Hall next year for him, all being well. By the way, Paul Nicholls said straight after the race. Wind Operation. This has been the milk bottle. Lorcan Williams on the Sky Pirate. I've seen a few people saying not just there for the jolly. He has been caught in no man's land, hasn't he?
Oh, completely caught in no man's land then between, Grade 1 horse then and a top class handicapper. But no, not for me in this calibre.
Got the
of a race.
pieces on, hasn't he?
Yes, but
Yeah.
even with that,
He might need a blinkers and pieces and visor all on
Yeah.
at once.
he's,
Yeah, all right. Well, we love the Pirate, but
Yeah.
he has rather, he's had to been sort of
Yeah, he
smuggled
didn't
around,
catch,
hasn't he?
he's going to win now because it didn't quite catch my eye in the paddock.
All right, so a reminder. It's Grian team for us.
Yeah.
So Royale wins.
So Royale.
Barry thinks he's going to hit the frame as well, as does Nat Green.
So I'm going somewhere in the middle. Grenadine to win.
You're
Chased
covering your
home by
bases.
So Royal.
bridging the gap between.
So Sky Pirate wins, we're all in trouble.
Yeah.
All right, get social on the screen before they go off. Watson Dennis says, I don't think Sky Pirate there's a bit of a jolly. Never underestimate John Joe. Well, that's something we all should live by, absolutely. Turned 70 recently,
Yeah,
didn't
can't
he?
argue with that.
Another good season for them down at Jack Dawes. Great stuff. So we've got one more to come after this. We've got a bit of time in between. Let's hear from you. The Bet365 Gold Cup will be off after this. But now it is a celebration. James,
Another
Rouge
messy
Vif,
start.
he's been asked to lead.
What's wrong with
But
these tapes today?
he had a little look at that, that's for sure. And he does lead. And Griantine, it's all about settling with Griantine.
He's
We
a
know
bit
that
keen,
by
isn't
now,
he,
don't
Green
we?
Team?
So
Let's
Royale,
just get over the
all
first.
over the first. Oh, pros these lot, aren't they? Absolutely lovely jump from So Royale. Nube Negro on the outside, which I'm a bit surprised about. I thought Harry was going to try and finesse him into the race, but he's keen not to let Rouge Vif go away. They think
He
he's
sit on
St.
his girth.
Calvados.
He seemed keen to sit on his girth.
Again, over 2 fences, Kate. Beautiful jumps by all of them.
Oh, by all of them. I love that fencing in front of his stands. It was Altio that always gave it about an extra foot, wasn't it, then?
Whereas it was
over
Mr.
the 2
Coffee who
miles.
took it with him,
Mr.
wasn't
Coffee
he,
would
wasn't
take
it?
it with him. Horses all seem to take that fence differently, though. They always jump at the exact same time whenever they go back. But lovely jumps from these lot.
All
Yeah,
right,
this
Graeme.
is what you want to see. This is what you expect to see from these types of horses. They're all jumping beautifully. I think Green Team's settled down a bit now. Yes, a little bit. keen
This is
to
like a
start
piece of
off
work,
with,
isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
The teammates are following each other,
This is it,
basically.
tactic. This is what I want in my graded chases then on the last day of the season. Not like our last race.
not like the last
I want
race. This is-
tactic.
yeah, this is
Competitive.
better.
Competitive,
Yeah,
and I really want to
absolutely.
see races have a story
We try
behind
and solve
them.
the puzzles, and you like to see them being put together, don't you?
Yeah, exactly
Yeah.
that, yeah.
All right.
Two mile chases around Sandown are great, aren't they?
Do they come any better at
They're
that?
going to hit this downhill fence, then they're going to go into the back straight and hit 7 in a row. And these old pros are really going to show us how it's done.
Oh, yeah, that was lovely.
Royals been a bit sloppy and
Well, let's go to
Yeah.
Barry.
sure he's
'cause
going that well.
Barry, they're going onto the far side now. They're going to sound old pace and everything to play for. What is the market like?
Yeah, it doesn't like So Royal anyway. It's 13.5, but Grenadine 2.2, Nuba Negra 2.7. That's 14 bar now. Evens Grenadine.
Evens
not a great
Grenadine.
I
then.
like the way you get Grenadine. He's quite a free horse. He's got quite a high tail carriage. He puts his head
Whoa.
a little bit. He's kind of
Kind of
quite
fresh.
easy for him.
Royal's
isn't
not
it?
going
He's
a yard
sort of
here.
bouncing off the ground, which is
Yeah,
quite
and I love the way that Harry's just letting him go.
Oh,
Just
oh,
a terrible.
oh,
Oh, yeah,
good.
Sky Pirate, the pieces
Rouge
haven't
Vif
worked out
isn't
him.
jumping that well.
Now, again, it's just an interesting move from Grenadine because they've always thought he would peak over 2 mile 4. The reason why he's not gone over 2 mile 4
Big
is because
two.
he can be too keen.
Yeah.
But they're letting him go here. He's got his ground. So Royal not totally out of it. Did he have a
Oh,
hard
he's
race
not
last
total
time?
out. I won't worry too much yet.
Sky Pirate pulled up.
Sky Pirate got a
that's
P
sensible
next to his
probably
name,
then, by
unfortunately.
Big
Not
two, I
today
think,
for
Dave.
him. You
Looks
what?
between the big two, Nuba
Do
Negra
you
and
think
Green
so?
Team. I think
Yeah.
so.
So Royal, absolutely beautiful jump there. He's bringing himself back into contention.
Listen, have faith, G-Rod, and that's green full cast.
All right, he's
Have
again.
faith.
He's
Come on.
absolutely pinged that one.
not
So
sure
Royal.
it's going
just
that
about-
well. Don't think it's
nothing's
going that
jumped better than
well.
So Royal
No,
so
not.
far.
Slow it down.
And that was all right. Okay, but
Royal,
Grenadine is
slow
in
it
front
down.
as we go on this famous climb towards the infamous pond fence. 3 from home it will be. So Royal just shaking away now. Those old legs need to catch up. He's almost kidding him, isn't he? Back
Yeah.
onto the bridle. But Grenadine leads. Nube Negro, as we expected, right on his coattails. The wind up looks like it's done Rouge Vif very good. Wherever Nube Negro goes on form, so
Two's
should
on
Vif be.
Grenadine.
Looking good, Green
Grenadine,
Team.
2's on, says Barry.
Yeah.
Turning
Just
in,
hand his
G-Rod.
hand.
Yeah, Green Team's probably going to win, I'd say, Dave.
Nube Negro, Nat.
Yeah, well, it's worrying me here. So Royal's just being niggled along, isn't he? Nuba Negra looks great. Still
He's
full of
trying
beans,
his
really
hardest,
left
Kate,
in,
isn't
but
he?
Come on.
He just pulled his stick through Harry Skelton and he switched his hands.
There goes Green Team, he's
He's
gone.
in trouble.
Confirms it.
Come on, So Royal. for the
Away.
full
Come on,
time. Pick it up.
Grenadine.
12's
Come on,
on.
Grenadine.
12's on Grenadine. This is going to be 3 straight
Come on,
wins
Harry.
for Paul
Keep
Nichols if he
jumping
jumps the
these.
last 2.
Up,
Over he
good
goes.
lad.
Beautiful
Thrown it.
stuff.
Lovely stride.
Nube Negra's still good, but So Royal's hunting him up
Come on,
for the
Mr.
second
Grenadine.
place. 12's on. Look at that. He's gone really low. This is where you see the
Come on,
real
Grenadine.
market happening in front of your eyes. So Royal just taken out of his feet a
jump.
little bit. Walking coming to the
1,
last.
2.
Grenadine's up and
Beautiful
over absolutely
walking.
fine.
I've got a chance!
This is going to be insufferable. Grenadine goes clear. So Royal going
Come on,
to
So Royal!
We got it here in the studio. Absolute scenes if he gets it. Harry Compton goes in. Happy days. Who knew the exotic queen, Nat Green, Barry Orr?
Queen.
Not a Queen, Nat Green. I like that. There's a ring to it. Brilliant stuff. Well done, Nat. You backed that at 13-2. Grenadine, he was 12's on, jumping the second last, 50-1 on, jumping the last. He never saw another horse. No in-running news there, really. Great to see So Royal, the old war horse. Nuba Negra made that dreadful mistake at the last leg. So Royal get up for second spot. But yeah, well done to Paul. That's a treble now. The first 3 winners there.
Wow.
Isn't that remarkable? I'll tell you, kills it's going to be.
I'm going to need some water.
Yeah, we'll let you get some water because this is now 2 multiples you put up on this show.
Someone help me out there. It was a bit of luck.
13-2 for that, G, was big, wasn't it?
Well, it was now we know it's won, Dave. Very big. No, I honestly, I don't think so, Roy.
You saw because you finished second.
I don't think so, Roy went a yard. He's being pushed along after about
Oh,
two,
he's 10 years
about
old.
Two fences. I mean,
Slow old legs.
Yeah, I mean, he fair play to him. He kept at it. He stuck at it really well, get second. But I think that was the end of a long, hard season for So Roy. And Nubi Negra, what a disappointing horse he is, Nubi Negra.
He's picked up
what a
34 grand for
disappointing
finishing
horse.
second there. That is you just would.
I know.
I defy you to tell me a better horse to own.
You want to own that horse, and I've got to give a bit of credit here to Darryl Jacob, because for a horse that wasn't really on his absolute A game, I think Darryl has sort of kept him as interested as he can do with this, hasn't he? I wouldn't want to be under Darryl. Well, I should say. If I was a horse, I mean, Darryl's
No more
going to die.
multiples
No more exotics.
Well, talking about doing multiples, we've got the big one coming up next. It's the Gold Cup, isn't it? And we got and our good old pal Christian Williams is trying to do the trifecta. So there's your link there, I suppose. I'll be amazed though, Barry, if Enrillo, of course, demoted from first place last year, doesn't go off Fav in the 3:35 before we go back on that incredible race.
Yeah, well, they seem to be holding their price well. He's still 9-2, Arillo, and 4-1, Kitty's Light. So what's that, a 20-1 or 19-1 treble, the first three winners I think he's had. I didn't see an SP for that, but I think he's around 6-4, I would imagine, that winner, Grenadine. But there's definitely running up money onto Enrillo. I have no doubt about that, especially the last day of the season with and Paul Nicholls being crowned champion trainer.
And this must have been his target, Barry, mustn't it? I mean, after what happened last year.
Oh, yeah, very much so. He said that. Obviously, they went to Ireland and the ground just went against them and they were on the wrong sort of the track and there was all sorts of excuses. He said he'd put it away and freshen it up, and it comes here relatively fresh. We're still only an 8-year-old, been around so much. A word as well, I would just say, for Bryony Frost, who obviously it's her ride. Harry hasn't rode it since finished in Put the Kettles On, Queen Mom Champion Chase win 2 years ago. So Harry was back on it today, but Bryony got a bad injury and she's going to be out for a little while, maybe a month or so, or maybe even 2 months or longer.
Yeah, okay, absolutely. Thoughts with Bryony? Very much so.
Yeah.
A lot's been said about her this season, isn't it? She's not got the support that maybe she has had in previous years, but she's still got 2 Grade 1 wins under her belt.
We like Bryony. She gave Green Teen a fantastic ride when he won the Tingle Creek. Coming around the outside.
Outside held
and
up there.
Frodon was the other, of course, at Down Royal.
Yeah, this horse is a very good horse at Sandown, isn't he? His record at Sandown is incredible. That's 3 Grade 1s at Sandown.
Griante, 91 grand he's just picked up there as well. Fantastic.
Is that a Grade 2, is it? It used to be a Grade 1, didn't it? Did it not?
Or is it a Grade 1? Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, anyway, this is a very good horse, isn't it, around Sandown? Well,
Grade 1, yeah.
Yeah, so that's 3 Grade 1s around Sandown, two in this race.
I know you are right to react like that, I think, on a card like this. Oh, there's a Grade 1 on it. It's a little bit. This
is an underappreciated race, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because
card, but the ground has had something to do with it this season, hasn't it? I think that's probably
because
why.
it comes up alongside this Punchestown meeting next week, and they have a champion chase at Punchestown, and usually a lot of the best 2-milers are Irish, aren't they? Usually.
Yeah.
Are they?
Well, an Agamine.
Yeah.
Well, yes, we can't wait to see that, of course, and sort of build. It's a beautiful week next week, actually, isn't it?
Can't wait.
Just a brilliant racing week.
Yeah.
We've not got the Honeysuckle Constitution Hill clash that many wanted. I wasn't as. I mean, it would have been fantastic for the sport. Of course, it would have been brilliant for the sport.
You had to do it, Kate, didn't you? You had to bring it up.
Yeah, but I'm not.
Yeah, still a novice.
Yeah, I know. That's
she
the
gets
thing,
a £7. You can see
She's a
why you
dual
wouldn't.
champion hurdle winner.
You can see why you wouldn't.
Yeah, you need to make that your sole target. I wasn't.
I actually did not have a problem with it. I thought that he made the right decision not to run.
I do.
Yeah, I didn't. Everyone's up in arms about it. I actually.
Well, it's not
Would have
their.
been brilliant to have seen.
I'm
but-
trying hard not to swear, but it's not their horse.
Yeah.
If it was your horse and you owned it, look, this could be an absolute monster. And
Got to feel for
you don't
Hendo a
want
little
to
bit.
always knock the wind out their sails, though. You don't want to get him beat. You don't want to get him thrashed.
I think it's on the back of all of the sort of the Henderson sort of the non-runners with like the Altior.
It's just Altior.
It's all the previous that people are now using to sort of bash him, I feel. But Constitution Hill against Honeysuckle is a whole different
And
entity.
this could go very wrongly for me. It's not Henderson at all with Altior. It's the owners. That's it. They wrap Altior up.
They wrapped him up.
Yes, 100% fact. Fact.
Laughing me and
So you
G-Rod.
can't just give all the mud.
And that
on
happens
Nicky.
time and time
No.
again with trainers, doesn't it? Where the trainers get everything, but behind the scenes, the amount of people they have to keep happy.
It's really difficult. This is not negative against the owners. They just love their horse.
Yeah.
But it's not just Nicky. It's really easy just to point the gun. It's just not the
Well,
truth.
let's start pointing towards the flat season that's just been, and I'm going to ask the panel. They don't know about this. I'm going to ask them for their highlights of
great.
the
I
jumps
love a
season.
Oh, I was going to say, the flat season's just
Well,
been.
we know.
yeah,
I can probably guess what most of yours are. Actually, perhaps I ought to do that. That's a good way of playing this
Go on,
game,
then.
isn't it? All right. Okay. Kate Tracey definitely leading up the nice guy
Yeah.
at Cheltenham. Was that the highlight of the season for you?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, personal highlight, away from tipping point of view. Yeah, leading up a nice guy to win the Albert Bartlett. A complete shock. Did not expect to be doing that. Complete imposter syndrome
Did they
walking
not
back
fancy
in.
him at all then? They must have half thought he was... What sort of horse is he? Come on, let us into the
An
inside.
absolute dude. Considering he's a fame and glory, and they've all got a quirk. Absolute dude. Honestly,
You
the
looked
first...
at Nat when you said that.
You know, but Nat would know fame and glories and
I'd be
what
a
they're...
quirky horse.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a good game to play. What
Yeah,
horse would
what
you be?
horse would you be? Mr. Fisher? No.
Might bite.
Yeah. But, yeah, what would you, Robbie, actually?
There's not enough time for that one.
I'll let the viewers speculate on that one.
So you led up the nice guy. You took
Yeah.
part of Camp Mullins for the second year in a row, wasn't it? It was great seeing you do that. I mean, one of the highlights for me was Barry's reaction when he saw you doing it. A Cheshire grin. And he was like, that column has paid off beautifully.
She gets everywhere.
Well, you absolutely did, but you vlogged it, as I called it. You
Yeah.
video blogged it really, really well.
Yeah.
We love that. The nice guy then, is he going to stay hurdling?
I actually don't know. I actually
He's
haven't
unbeaten,
asked.
isn't he?
He's going to Punchestown. Well, he's entered up at Punchestown anyway in the 3 mile novice hurdle there and the 2.5 one. But I actually don't know if he's going to
Are
go
you going
chasing.
to be part of the team again?
I'm going over, yeah. I'm
It's
going
so
over
breaking, isn't it?
Punchestown. So yeah, that's
So we'll look
why.
forward to that on your Twitter feed and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
'cause
Yeah,
Kate
yeah.
does it
Thank
really, really well. So
thank you very much.
you sort of bring all that to life. So about winning performance.
Winning
We've got time.
performance from my own tipping point of view, Tornado Flyer in the King George.
Boom. Yeah, that's why
Pretty
people
savvy
remember
one.
it.
Yeah, that's a pretty savvy one for me. That was probably the one that comes to the forefront of my mind from my tipping perspective.
Okay, great. Nat Green. Oh, here we go. Ahoy, senor. Let's get that one off.
You said you were going to guess. I just went along with it.
Well, it obviously is what you put him up as your horse to follow, didn't you, at the start of the season?
Yeah, because you can go to lots of yards, see lots of horses. He just stood out like a sore thumb in the best possible way. When I saw him, I said he'd go to Carlisle. He did. I thought Cheltenham, he doesn't love the undulations. He's a big horse, a big stride. What I did say is forget Braveman's Game, forget Lompress at Aintree. Ahoy Senor will win, and he did, and that was spectacular because he is an Aintree horse. I'm not convinced he's a Cheltenham horse. Could he still be a Gold Cup horse? Yes, like on the one-off, but Aintree just suits him. He's just got that great big stride. And highlight, Dave, maybe Bass Rock winning finally for my father-in-law.
Oh, when you told us it wasn't going to win.
Dave goes, how's Bass Rock going to run today? And I went, I don't know really. And then afterwards, when we were at Ayr, a Scottish national meeting, and he came into winning clothes, and Sandy and Quona, they're just fantastic. Sandy Thompson said, oh yeah, he's a really good horse. It was,
The ultimate
it was great.
put-away
It was
job
really
that was.
It was really nice.
They got over 2-1 as a result, I think.
Yeah, no, it was really
Right
nice.
off. All right, so
highlight
Ahoy Senor
for
and
him.
Bassrock, of course, for Ray. That was
for
wonderful,
Ray,
wasn't
yeah.
it? Of course, on Marigo Day, as we call it.
Yeah.
All right, G-Rod, look, we've been asking social what horse you be.
Beware the bear.
So good.
And beware this bear. I agree, absolutely. Devo's your mate, of course, isn't he? That's
Yeah,
brilliant.
Devo,
I've seen a few others coming up as well, actually, that are out there.
Beware the
They
bear's
keep
the
coming. They keep coming. Let's hope that the guys are building these out there, because we'll do them as we go. Highlight, Graeme Tina, you've already said. Can I try and guess another one, though? I
Yeah.
mean, there are multiple with you. I've got to try and hone in here. I'm going to say Brave Man's Game, Bob Ollinger.
Brave Man's Game winning at Kempton was quite nice, wasn't it? And
Because you got a lot of stick for that, didn't
I
you?
would say my highlight, although it's not being one highlight, and I'm going to say this now, and you can go on your Twitter and disagree if you like, but I was right about Bob Ollinger. He's
You
not
were.
a chaser, that horse.
He's going over 3 miles, isn't he, I think, next week?
Yeah, that's what we're going to try him over. But the majority will agree with you
his
now.
Torn muscle, isn't it? Because they're saying because of his
Yeah.
torn muscle. That's what Rach came in, and Henry said, "Oh, I just wasn't quite right." And then she was like, "Oh," and then they found out this torn muscle, but he's making great recovery. But I agree with G-Rod.
Yeah, I think most people would. If
Personally.
you put up a poll now, is Bob Bollinger a chaser? The majority.
Well, I
would
was
say
against him.
no.
I'm gonna go to Barry now because this is I've got a few to think about. When you think about Barry or on this show through the jump season, there's one in particular that this will be on the highlights at the end of the season. I'm going to say January the 1st, Cheltenham, David Maxwell.
Yeah, he's on it. Yeah, he's right up there, but he wouldn't be my highlight. No, my highlight would be the £100 charity bet.
I knew he was going to say that. I knew he was going to say that. I knew it.
And Ireland would win more of the feature races, would win more of the 4 feature races at the Cheltenham Festival than England. And we had an even money bet there, and he kindly donated that £100 to the Injured Jockeys Fund. Which fair play to you, G-Rod, for that. Bob Bollinger was my highlight of the season because I had been with him quite a bit. So thankfully, Galloping Des Champs got up okay. It was a very fortuitous win for Bob Bollinger, but from a punting point of view, I was glad to see him win that day in Cheltenham. But most definitely, Ireland to win the Stayers Hurl, the Dole Cup, Queen Mom Champion Chase, and the fourth and final leg was the Champion Hurl. So, or the first leg was the Champion Hurl. And we won all 4, would you believe? Only had to win 3 out of the 4, but how rude are the Irish? They went and won all 4.
Who knew?
Who would have seen that coming?
It was 11-10 though going into the last day. So can I at least claim a moral victory?
Well, sort of. I mean,
Does that make you feel better? If you
Or a
do?
hollow victory? I don't know.
very hollow.
Yeah, hollow
I think.
rather than
Absolutely.
moral.
All right. Can you think of mine before we go down?
What, from a tipping or a
From a
on
tipping,
track?
there's not many. No, I'm sure there are a few actually, but certainly from I don't know.
Well, you haven't let us guess.
Having you what?
You haven't let us guess.
You can guess. Guess away.
Oh, this is hard, actually. Come on, we've got to have a guess. Let's have a guess.
I know what it is.
Edwardstone. You were with Edwardstone, weren't you, all year?
I was with Edwardstone, Barry. That's kind of you to say. I was with Edwardstone for quite a bit of it.
I'm racking my brain. I know there is a big one, but I can't think.
Yeah, I thought there was another one that we in the big the big jumping thing that went out earlier in the year. I
The
thought,
big jump off.
yeah, it wasn't something you'd said on.
I said a lot of good things in that Nat. I hosted it.
I know.
It was a given.
Okay, no, we give up. But
I think from
gonna kick
and I've
ourselves.
sort of
Yeah, I know.
we are clipping these up actually out there for them. We've had 2 guests on in this studio on various feature shows that we do, and do you know what? Actually, I'm going to say 3 guests. Jerry McGrath coming in the show when we were on with him. That was brilliant. I loved it. He told us all about Constitution Hill, and we all got with him on that project, and that was marvellous. Constitution Hill is hard to topple from an aesthetic perspective.
yeah,
Magnificent. I loved Christian Williams doing the Scottish National forecast, even though I got it the wrong way around.
it doesn't matter. It was still.
yeah,
it
but
just-
still though,
it
to
was
get
just
for one
incredible.
too.
That was magnificent.
Yeah.
And I also loved talking to Nicky when Racing Twitter was putting vitriol and bile towards him. And we had him on and we took the positive view about Shishkin when he wasn't right for the Tingle Creek. And he said, those silly clowns can come on and eat their hats, was the line. And when he then went and did what he did at Kempton, and the highlight of the season for me remains when he and Energumene went eye to eye.
Yeah.
That
in
was
the Clarence
Point,
insane.
actually. Yeah,
That
that's
was
a good one.
insane.
Yeah.
Which we got right over
Eyeballed
Melrose,
each
but
other
Melrose
and-
got his revenge, of course. So they are the sort of
The
highlights.
weird thing is, though, when you think about it, you think about the way that Shishkin ran at Cheltenham, and like, maybe he was. What was he showing Nicky in December? Look, was he? I don't know. It's hard to say. Isn't it? What sort of form was Shishkin in going at home? You know what I mean? Was he just showing all of his old? I mean, we'll never know. We'll have to ask Nicky, I suppose. But he was so bad at Cheltenham, wasn't he? She's so
it's a
bad.
bit of a concern, this rare bone condition.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's not ideal for
Just
his
to come up
age.
literally on the day, as Nicky said, it was.
Yeah, it's not. It's not ideal, is it, to have a rare bone condition?
It's a very odd one, but we knew excuses were going to be coming for Shishkin and Bob Bollinger.
But do you remember, did I text you when I was from Cheltenham?
Yeah.
Because Shishkin looked really unhappy
Wasn't up for
in
it,
their
was he?
preliminaries.
Really?
He just looked. It was weird. It was weird.
But they were highlights, as is the social reaction to what horse would G-Rod be. I think we might have some more fizzy ones.
Don Polly. He's
Tom
getting
Slowden.
better.
That is harsh. I mean, I've seen a Santini out there as well, G-Rod, by the way, who finished 4th in the National. Of course, we had Bruce, the commander of the fleet.
That was
utter
51?
scenes, wasn't it?
Oh,
he put that out. It was when he fell off his chair.
Oh no,
coach.
that was a highlight. Was Bruce's commentary on Gin on Lime? Was it Gin on Lime?
My Drogo.
Beating My Drogo.
When he collapsed and
he collapsed
Bruce
and-
tried to
and
describe
Rachel-
it.
Bruce was describing it as her sitting on a bench.
Picnic
Yeah,
table.
that
She
was-
sat on a bench and then got back up.
Like a
Yeah, it was
collapsing
very good.
table and up, but that had you in fits of laughter, didn't
Yeah.
it?
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
And
that was what it was like.
I wonder whether the real highlight, and this
Well,
is
it's
where
a
I'm,
trestle
this is
table.
what this is why they get me in this chair, right? We go, you all go all over the place, you lot, and the hardest thing is like it's just naughty school children today, end of school term, and I'm having to keep you back in. No one's harder than you to do with this, by the way. And I bring it back round because the highlight of the jump season could be coming up at 3:35.
Yeah.
And I have waited all year for this. 12 months on, Kitty's Light gets his revenge on everyone. Who remembers that? I mean, it was remarkable. And that race, if you watch it back in your members club now from last year, how can you not be with Kitties? How can you not be with Kitties? Because he looks beaten, and yet if he starts to fire up, like he did a bit, of course, in the Scottish National, if he's there turning in, he's bumped into well-handicapped Captain Orr, he's bumped into Wing My Wings, he still had the stone in hand, and this is his race. So it could well be coming up at 3:35. Who is going to go off Fav in the biggie, Barry Orr?
Yeah, 3:32, Dave. Kitty's Light's your favourite at 5.8, and Rillo 5.9, 7.8 Musical Save, Win My Wings 8.8, 10.5 Streets of Diane's being a good springer, and Phlegmatic is 13.
And Phlegmatic is the play here, Barry, is it?
For me, yeah, I'm going to back him on the sportsbook, please, Rod. And I'm going to back him on the sportsbook because it's 5 places to each way punters here, and he's currently trading on the sportsbook at 11. He had been an 8-1 chance, so he's on a bit of a slide. Going to have 25 quid each way at 11-1, please, G-Rod Phlegmatic. That's the play for us here.
Yes, a horse that comes into it on a hat trick, Barry. And is that on G?
Yeah, that's there.
And
5 places.
Yeah, they did his wind after he won in Ascot, Dave, last November. He had Kitty's Light behind when he was third in Kempton at Christmas. Fortescue was second that day. That form's stacking up okay. Then he went to Kempton, the handicap chase off 123, and he won. He followed up then the same track over 2.5 miles off 130. Obviously put him away for this. Dan Skelton has learnt off the best. And this is a race that they've really had their eye on after that day in Kempton back in February. And he's a relatively fresh horse. He's still on a very workable mark, and he's an improver.
Yeah, absolutely. Improvers do tend to win this race as well. Historically, he ticks a lot of the boxes. I'm not sure whether the excellent Kevin Morley led with him in his tips, but he did certainly suggest, and I get the luxury of, like you do, G, don't you, on a Monday, Tuesday, we get Kev's idea of the trends for these big races, and you can knock them out. Fascinating to watch. And that latest win has also worked out really well. I mean, he beat Foxborough, winner next time. Patroclus, okay, next time. Look at Chameleon, One True King was in there. Very good race. And he will be smuggled out the back, I would imagine. And he's a strong traveller, isn't he? And he'll be the one to look for at that infamous pond fence. Let's start ramping up then and tipping. Final race of the day on RP Live. What an afternoon we've had. Who thought it? Every time these guys come in, they amaze me. It's Kate Tracey, Nat Green, G-Rod and Barry Orr as well. And what are we going for? We know it's Phlegmatic. Is anyone else weighing in but Barry?
I think it's a really good case. I still lost my voice. For Phlegmatic and at the price, isn't it? It's exciting, but
What do the notes say?
well, no, I don't need the notes for this because Kitty's Light at Wetherby in the Charlie Hall. I remember just saying to Christian, just tell me about this horse, and in his lovely accent, he's got 5,000 guineas as a yearling, and it was a scrawny little thing, and I just liked it. And he's always stuck with this horse when a son of Nathaniel, that people might have been like, huh? Because Christian still, obviously we know him as a jump jockey, had his fair share of injuries, but
Fair share, yeah.
yeah, he had. He's really been through it, and it was a good pick on his of his eye and as a horseman, because how many people would have picked this horse out for what it's gone on to achieve? I remember doing an interview with him at Wetherby, and I was just fascinated by the story and everything around it and how much sort of faith he's had in this horse. And this horse so deserves it, Dave. So he tries his absolute heart out. I love Win My Wings. Of course, I was there on Scottish National Day, as you know, and it was just phenomenal. The only thing not worries me about her, because I like little horses. Donna McCain's a lot of little horses that go around, the national little horses, and I like that. But I just think this is a tough ask for her. And she is on the small side, and I just think Kitty's light. I just think this is Kitty's day, his day.
Yeah,
It's
tempted
gotta
to
be
say
his day.
she, aren't you?
Everyone goes to go, she.
I also thought you were tempted to do the accent then. I thought you were going to start off with...
once I've
Everyone
heard
thinks
him,
they
I
can
do
do a
it.
Christian accent.
Well, no, if I'd
you
heard
not?
it, I could do it.
I can.
Kitties.
Yeah,
Love to
yeah.
see him win.
It'd be brilliant.
Glad you were brave enough there, Kate.
Hey, wait
I'm
a
not sure you
minute.
should have been.
Always
But,
take. I'll always take
What's
the
the
accent
video?
challenge up.
Lads, let me just go and sword me heroes.
Oh yeah, no, I mean he's from Liverpool now. We can all have a go at doing his accent. Dave, he says he's got a really deep barrel.
Yeah, Dave-o.
He's put pieces on. What I like about Christian is he again learnt from Nicholls, and he's just happy to try things and do things like Clanders over with the blinkers. If ever a horse might have needed cheek pieces, it probably is Kitty's, because he hits that flat spot.
Yeah, he does, doesn't
He
he?
looked beaten in the race last week. Now, if he wins this race, look at this. And you've been teasing him all week, haven't you?
I've been on
Patsy?
Twitter teasing him. I don't know whether you can zoom in
You
on.
can,
we
on
haven't
the
got
lycra.
equipment for this, but he's got this little pouch that covers, because a lot of people say, oh my God, it's skimpy. I was like, no, he's got a pouch on here. He's promised he's going to come in lycra.
That's Tom Park, of course, who we have on this
so
show daily.
clever.
That's his front page, and it's
good.
that's obviously not Christian. That's obviously his head been put on that.
And then on Twitter, someone said the hands give it away. This is these little, like...
Tiny hands. But he is the marathon man, isn't he? Ida, Scottish National Forecast,
How
Coral
good are my
Trophies
wings
at
in the
Kempton.
Ida,
It's
though?
absolutely madness.
Best trainer of the same.
So I can't
Yeah.
depose
Love
Kitties. He
Kitties.
doesn't tick a lot of boxes, but he never does. He's a freak. He was a 4-year-old winning staying handicap chases. Kate Tracey, who wins the 365?
Oh, see, I was on Kitties last year as well, so I was ruining the bizarre verdict that had to be given by the letter of the law. But I would love to see him win. I'm against him here, though. I'm with 2. But my main selection is actually the bigger priced Hewick, believe it or not, that I've heard
Right.
absolutely no one mention from a Shark Hanlon yard. Perhaps for good reason. Now, this was on his penultimate start. He had a really busy time with things through the summer. He then won the Durham National as a 6-year-old on his penultimate start at the end of those. That was certainly a plan for him. He jumped horribly throughout that. Shane Fenlon took his £7 claim off his back, and he managed to beat Red Giant into second. Red Giant had been teed up for that race as well, and he managed to still kick him out the way. That was over 3 mile 5. He then had a winter break, came back in the Midlands National last time out. Too far, he did too much too soon, yada yada. He was pulled up ultimately. Coming back here, better ground, more feasible trip. He's £11 worse off because Jordan Gainford only takes a £3 claim off his back this time around then rather than Shane Fenlon's. But Hewick ticks an awful lot of boxes for me. Trip, ground, up there with the ratings. But my second one is also, believe it or not, Emrillo. Also, I do not like siding with. But that run where he did best of the prominent races last time out, when he finished 4th then at Kempton behind Captain Norton Kitty's Light, was so likeable. And he's been given £2 back for that as well. So back to form.
And again, they hit the front a bit too soon in the race last year. We saw that, Barry, when we covered it, didn't we? And it doesn't look like he's going to go off fav here. I thought with Nicholls having won the first 3 races that we've covered, this was going to be game over and we were looking at the outright fav, but no.
Yeah, I did.
No, he's 6. He's 5.3 Kitty's Light 6, and Rillo Musical Save 7. Win My Wings is getting a very backable price as well, out to 9.2. But just talking to the lads in the trading floor there, and 7 figures running up money for the 7-fold. That is so. God forbid that wins. It'll be some carnage, because he's got McFabulous obviously, and then he's got Flick of You.
Well, you made me laugh there, Barry, because this is a Betfair ambassador that could have a 7-timer on a Saturday, but he might also pull you down. there's an oxymoron there somewhere.
They can afford it.
Yeah, they can afford it. All right.
Yeah. It'll be good to see. It'd be great for racing for Paul to land a 7-timer, Janie. I'd love to see it happen. So
he didn't have that many runners, did he, at
Regardless of the
Cheltenham, I don't think. in the end,
multi-million pound payout wouldn't come into it.
Wow. All right. So we're not going to go off fav. We don't look Enrico. But if you watched the race last year, G, he for a long way out, did he? Look, this is poetry in motion. He's going to absolutely thrash them. And then, of course, he wanders around like they can do at Sandown.
Yeah. And he would have got beat, wouldn't he?
By
Kitties.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Kitties would have done him.
And Kitties is going to win.
So what? Yes.
Yeah,
Are you
he
with
is.
Kitties as well?
Kitties, yeah. This is
Kitties
his race.
is going to
isn't it?
light up.
This is it, isn't it? This is the
So
one.
excited about
He
this.
deserves it. You
He
know,
does deserve it.
Second. Big races, one after the other. Second last year.
He's only 6.
Yeah.
I know everyone always says that because it just feels like this. Yeah,
2 years ago, we were saying he's only 4.
I know.
Yeah.
We're in the Kitty fan club, aren't we?
We had
how
Rob
could
Lee, who
anyone
used to
not
be
be?
a senior
Yeah.
producer here.
Yeah.
He's now gone on to Sky, and he spoke to Christian for anyone else. And he said he's got this 4-year-old who he reckons he's going to climb up the handicap. So we
look at
backed
his
him
little face.
around Exeter and things like this. He's been,
Gorgeous,
an equine friend of the show. It's Kitty's Light. Musical slave who Barry mentioned. He's coming into. I'm not sure whether he's man enough for the fight. This chap, and he only won a week ago. But he's very interesting off 10-2. Tom O'Brien, Cheltenham Festival winning jockey, as I now always say. Brian Hayes and John McConnell got a steamer as well. Keel's very articulate case of Streets of Doyen yesterday. Back on good ground, third in the last year's Albert
Yeah, I
Park.
thought that had absolutely no chance.
There we go. Moving on. Wing My Wings. I thought she might well be going off fab for this because she's just turned up and absolutely.
Well, the Ida performance was spectacular, but the Scottish National was jaw-dropping.
On a
because they just
different
don't
level.
win like that.
We thought she was going to be put away after that, and I spoke to him on the phone, Chris, and he said, "I think she wins, Dave."
Well, Barry
Ah,
said
there you
before,
go.
There's the
Barry
Barry
said
out,
before
see.
that if a mare's in good form,
And Rob James is coming over, and Barry says stealing that because he's had 200 point to point when he's a remarkably good rider. And Barry, this is a mare, isn't
You
it?
can see how little she is
That
here.
when she leads, they just all pile on. I mean, she goes ridiculously low with 3 fences to go.
Yeah, well, that's what we've seen so far because she's always been so well handicapped. But what she got £14 for the last day, and Rob James rode and claimed the 7. But sometimes these mares can just defy those sort of things, and the handicapper mightn't have caught up with her. It's a big ask now, having said that. But she is one of those horses in running, Dave. Like you say, she travels so well. Like I think in the Eider, she was odds on with 8-6 to jump.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and in the national straight
Madness.
out, you could have said she's the winner. Couldn't you?
The madness.
Made up down the back
Like,
straight.
She's the winner.
They're lining up then, guys. Good luck, because we're near... Well, actually, we're still a way off, aren't we? We've got... When is this race supposed to go?
32.
3:35. Don't get me started.
Yeah, no,
these
they
race
go
times.
off on time.
Oh, yeah, OK. I thought it was 3 minutes later.
Interesting to
Lucky
see
someone's looking.
how they're lining up.
Potterman, we haven't mentioned him yet, of course, comes into it a win. He got awarded the race last year.
Yeah, luckiest winner of the season, wasn't
Well,
he?
probably the luckiest winner of the season.
without a shadow.
Yeah, Captain Orr was 5th in the race last year. He's £5 lower. Christian said, I've got a sneaky one yesterday. And I said, hang on, mate, you didn't tell me about this bloke. The reason why Wing My Wings is running here, a lot of people are backed her for next year's Gold Cup. With these mares, right, you just don't know whether they can let them down for a season, whether they quite come back. They've got to strike while the iron is hot, he's thinking.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is what she's doing here.
Yeah.
The Ida winner, the Scottish National winner. What a classy race this is. Step Back, of course, who's won
This
the
is a
race
great
before.
race.
Who won this in...
Prime Venture, our old friend,
goodness.
of course. That was a
Yeah.
hell of a highlight for Barry of the season as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, and of course,
In the
Hewitt-
Veterans Chase,
In the
yeah.
Veterans Chase, which was, again, one of these marvellous races. You could see it from 5 out. slowly, he came and he delivered. So, look, Domaine DeLille in here. Nothing has come, by the way, from the Grand National and won this race. That was a stat I got given the other day. Domaine DeLille would be one. Captain Orr ran on that card, but most of them are off for the season now, aren't they? All right, so of course we've got there must be another one. I bet these pipe horses ran in it, didn't they? No,
yeah.
Villa Dolorosa and El Paso Wood. They always seem to turn
Yeah,
up.
they're the rags of the field, 60 and 80, but it looks like they're going to be up there.
Oh,
And off
first
they go,
timer.
Barry, then. The 2022 Gold
Hewitt.
Cup. The Whitbread, as it used to be called. That was one of the first big races I ever got taken to. We all have a history, and it's Hewitt, Kate Tracey, leading over the first with Step Back. The previous winner of the race, Lily Bradstock, is not messing around. Potterman up there. Is that Rillo up there as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's
Did that last
interesting.
year, didn't
He hit the front too soon, but he's got the pieces on now, and they're going for repeat tactics. El Paso Wood and up
That
there.
fence.
Hang on. Oh, yeah, that was a bit tricky.
Hewitt, Kate, he's giving it miles, isn't
Who
he?
was
that fence is
that
so
gave that
bizarre.
loads of air?
Hewitt.
Hewitt.
He gave
Was
it loads
Hewitt?
of it. It's just that fence at Sandown when they meet it at the second fence there. They're always bizarre at it.
They're proper strung out, aren't they?
Flying
Musical
along.
Slave out the back. Kitty's
Yeah.
Light out the back. As usual, Wing My Wings taking a fierce hold. Phlegmatic out the back for Barry Orr. Domaine DeLille, Brian Hughes, unsurprised, being held up. Let's give some others a race. Streets of Doyen, the steamer for John McConnell, winner at Perth in the week. They are hoping these front runners, 2 laps, of course, don't forget. We go round and round. I will draw breath in a minute and hand over to Barry Orr, but they have got an absolute pace, Barry.
They didn't go this fast in the Derby trial here yesterday on the same horse. She's been run away with.
Oh, Lily Bradstock. Oh, dear, yeah. I think
I
absolutely.
mean, step back, he does like this, but at the same time, yeah, I think that is...
It's just the
flying,
worst
isn't
feeling.
he?
I mean, he is a previous winner of the race,
Yeah.
but she's been carted, isn't she?
Very feasible.
And if you're on Hewick, all of a sudden you're thinking, hang on,
It's to rein it back and control the race from where he is. then
Sharks told me to
hopefully-
go out and lead, Hanlon,
Yeah.
and but I'm happy with this, right?
Yeah,
Because,
no, I'm happy that Jordan Gameford's just using his head there just to try and dictate the race really without step back.
yeah, future star of the saddle, no doubt.
Step back
if he's
is
not-
lightly weighted here,
already.
and he is a previous winner, so you don't want to let him get
Well,
too
that's
much
it.
rain on
This
you.
is interesting, isn't it? Absolutely. We do see it at Sandown as well on the flat and over jumps. They can hang on, but this would be remarkable if this did. Okay, G-Rod, early thoughts?
Yeah, they're flying along in front, and I think that they're all still going well, aren't they, Dave?
That's very helpful, G-Rod.
That's like my commentary. G-Rod's commentary's like mine. No, and Willow is jumping nicely, actually. Isn't he nice, prominent? And Christian's...
Where's Kitty?
Phlegmatic's not
Each
happening
other.
at all.
Isn't he?
No, he's out. He's
The
out
hat-trick
last.
he got.
He's after dropping back too nearly. Yeah, he's not. It's not on a going day for Phlegmatic.
There was someone on the community earlier saying basically that Skelton's horses just haven't really turned up. And again, it's a year-long operation, isn't it? So we'll watch. There's a long way to go.
Yeah.
Kitty's like doing his usual thing. I want to see how he was travelling actually in the
The
pieces.
Williams horses are all running together.
They are.
Yeah.
Alongside
Yeah,
each
Win
other.
My Wings travels well as usual.
She's
Tactics.
she's always full of herself, isn't she? She was quite clever there as well.
Yeah.
Musical Slave hunting up out the back. He's the one that I've passed over because I just wonder about him over the final half
He loves
mile.
the
You'd have
Belting
to say they
offensive
just
well.
dismissed the one in front now at this
Yeah, I
stage,
think
don't
they
they?
have.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Like the leader
Yeah.
of the field really is Hewick.
Yes.
They're not. Yeah, yes, quite right. Absolutely,
Poor
Barry.
Lily's probably got a lot of lactic acid running through her arms, carting away.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
horrible
what do you
feeling,
think
that.
she's
It's
thinking at
horrible
the moment?
feeling.
I'm due a rollicking, or
Stop.
can you please slow down, step back? I guess, G, when you're in this position, we see it in Veterans Chase. Valadon did this in the Prime Venture race, didn't he? Just go clear. You've got no option but just get him into a rhythm now, haven't you?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I've never ridden in a race, so I wouldn't know, but I would have thought that is probably all we can do.
Well, you've written about a lot of them and you've read them, so I was hoping for your expertise there. But perhaps we'll go to the two that
Potterman's
the two
going
horsey
well
people.
as well. Potterman's quite eye-catching in these early stages.
Yeah, Alan King very quietly will be thinking this will be justice if we win this race. And
Yeah,
it's
and we'll
outright
finally get
this
them
year.
the credit. Yeah, but really it was Kitty's site. I think everyone's in agreement pretty much about that.
Come on, Kitties, get
Funnily
up
enough,
there.
I disagreed with Keels on it. He thought Enrillo should have absolutely won
Really?
last year. Yeah, he did, yeah.
Are we happy here? We're happy, aren't we?
Well, I'm more than
Yeah,
happy.
happy with
more than
Kitty.
More than
I
happy.
mean,
He's got
Agreed.
for once. He's got first
he's
right,
usually
run on the
miles
stable,
behind
mate.
by now, isn't
Where's
he?
Captain Orr, the other third one? He's at the back as well, isn't he? They said they were going to change the tactics slightly. And Santos and Davis desperate to hold on to him for a little bit long. Fiddux, who will absolutely bounce off the ground. The other King runner, he's there as well. Prime Venture probably the one that doesn't look like he's happy
We're
at
actually
all.
ahead of Win My Wings.
Yeah.
We have passed the
Hey?
winners' enclosure for the final time, Barry. And is it still as we were?
19 now, step back. Had a Betfair SP at 29, just to put that into context. 4.5 Kitty's Light, 6 Enrillo, Musical Slave 7, 7-2 Win My Wings. Outside of that, Hewick is 16, travelling well in second spot.
Yeah, you got to be happy, Kate. Oh, yeah, I do that as well. Touch wood
I
or
always
whatever.
do that if someone
Yes.
said about my horse. Yeah, you shouldn't be in this game if you're superstitious, but I really am. No, I'm happy enough with where Hewick is. I think that Jordan Gay for me is a fantastic talent as well. He's such
He
a good
is.
judge of pace. So yeah, please. I mean, his jumping is holding up for now. It's always going to be a bit of a frailty of his, but touch wood, so far it's gone well.
Shouldn't be in this game for superstitions. And G-Rob was thinking, well, I tried to be a rocket scientist, but here I am with you lot on a Saturday afternoon.
Come on, Kitties.
Come on, yeah, now we're getting excited. You do need to build the momentum of excitement
Yeah,
with
you
kitties.
do.
You always do. I just don't remember. Don't forget,
Come
in
on,
this race
Jim.
last year,
Don't
don't
Moving
remember,
up.
don't forget, in this race last year, he was a million turning in,
Yeah.
and you just know the horse.
Whoa,
and if he
mistake
just
there.
fills his lungs and tries, now the ground is quicker, of course, than last year. But Step Back remains 7 lengths clear as they prepare to go over the railway fences for the final time in this
Come on,
famous race.
kitties.
Streets of Doyen, the steamer, he doesn't look too
Win My
happy.
Wings is
Win
still
My
on still.
Wings is coming. Captain
Yes.
Orr's coming. Hewick's coming.
The Williams battalion are just
And Willow is there.
moving
They are,
through.
they're waiting. Christian
about
will be,
4
I'll
of
tell you
them.
what, there'll be no coming back
I love
from this.
this. This is
On the
great.
inside,
it?
Potterman also doing well.
Come on,
Phlegmatic now
kitties.
shaking the
Come on,
reins a bit. Captain Orr is warming up, isn't he? Come on, kitties!
We've got a
Can we
great chance
possibly
from
do
here.
it?
So many
Surely.
chances. There are so
Win My
many.
Wings has got a bit of ground to make up this time. Swap the
Go on,
the clock in the,
Go on,
in the Scottish
Kitties.
National last time. She was in front. Kitties is the one, isn't he?
Come on.
Musical Slave has latched onto him. Captain Orr's there. They have history, of course, these two. Again, Kitties. Just
Straight
get
there.
over this fence, Kitties. Jack Tudor sensing victory all of a sudden. Potterman finally behind him. Rillo still going beautifully. This could be the fourth time for Nicholls. Kitties wasn't
Kitties
great
hitting
then.
the
This is
flat
that
spot
flat spot he hit in the
He's
race
hit the
last
flat-
year.
yeah, he's
Step
hit
back then, still leads, but the cavalry, they are a-coming. He's out as
Go
we
on,
go to the
Kitties, get up there inside.
Pond fence.
Come
I reckon
on,
there's 6 in
Kitties.
it. 6 in it. Wing by Wins is definitely one of them. Captain Orr's there. Musical Slave's there.
on, Hewitt.
Kitty's like...
Hewitt.
Oh, Hewitt is there as
Come on,
well.
Hewitt.
Kate Tracey's getting
Win
excited.
my wings.
Look at Rillo. So this is basically the 1-2 from last year. Right, we're turning
Come
it
on,
in.
Kitties, get up
Come
there.
on, Kitties. Just keep him going.
Come on, Hewitt.
Go on, Kitty.
I would say
Come on,
Musical
Hewitt.
Slave
Kitties,
is
get
trying
through
his
that
hardest.
gap.
Hewitt is going really, really well. But I'll tell you what, step backs
Come
are
on,
an
Hewitt.
absolute blinder. He's still there and he leads just over the
Come on,
third
Hewitt.
half.
Come on,
Hewitt,
Kitty.
OK, he's there. Win by
Come on,
Wings is
Hewitt.
just feeling the pinch now, isn't she?
Come on,
Captain
Hewitt.
Orr not getting it.
Come on, Hewitt.
Kitty.
Come on,
This
Kitty,
hill
get
will
after
suit him
it.
better than anything.
Come on, Hewitt.
Hewitt's
Go on,
though in
Kitty.
front at the moment.
Come on, Jordan
Kitty's
Gayford.
trying his hardest. He
Come on,
absolutely
Hewitt.
tries
Come on,
hardest.
Hewitt.
Come on, Kitty.
Go on, Kitty, get after it.
Hewitt,
Come on, Hewitt.
This is
Come
going
on,
to
Hewitt.
Tracy.
Come on,
Musical
Hewitt.
Slave
Don't wander,
there as
don't
well.
wander, don't
Kitty's
wander.
going to come up short again. Hewitt goes over the last. He's in front.
Come on, Hewitt.
He's 2
Come on, Hewitt.
Hewitt is
Kitty.
going to really gamble here for Ireland.
Come on,
How many
Hewitt.
times do we say that?
Kitty.
What an absolute
One for
margin
Ireland.
for Jordan Gayford. Kate Tracey knew.
Kate.
Kitty's third again because
Oh,
Musical
got
Slave has
this.
done it.
Well
Too
done.
much
Oh,
on his
thank
back this
you,
year.
thank
What a race that was.
Oh, well
Step
done,
back
Hewitt.
somehow fourth. Well done, Kate Tracey. Barry turning in. He took it up.
Yeah, and he pulled up in the Midlands National when he was well fancy. Great tip, and Kate, well done.
Yeah.
Musical Slave traded at a low of 1.58 in running. Odds on Musical Slave. Outside of that, Kitty's Light trade at a low of 2.5, which is 6-4. Your winner had a Betfair SP of 24, so 23 to 1. Shark Han will be throwing a fair party tonight. I wouldn't mind travelling home on that flight with him.
Well, thanks, Barry. Wow. I mean, sure of breath I really had to there. I mean, he's pulled up, wasn't he, when fancied for the Uttoxeter showpiece. Well done, Kate. You got it right.
That
You
was
sort
a
of saw
very
it and knew
good
it.
tip
Thank
at that
you.
price. A very, very good
much,
tip.
everyone. It's
I-
very kind.
I'm very pleased you. I'm a bit deflated at the same time.
I know, I'm deflated for Kitties. Well, no, I'm not. I'm telling a lie. I'm
Nah,
not
you're
deflated
so
one bit.
happy.
It is what it is. I mean, the fact that he's had the shout there, lots of horses have fallen out the back of the telly again, slightly over top, like we saw in the first race. Let's go with Kitty's first of the top three. Softer ground, probably better, and he got a bit more weight in his back this year, and he jumped the last two better than he jumped any others, but the better treated horse got away from him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That was a hell of a shout, Kate.
Thank
Yeah, it
you,
was. Out
thank
of all
you,
the
Rose.
runners, no, it was a really
you.
good pick.
Honestly, it's literally my trends. I've tried to just stick with them the entire way through because obviously I started my Betfair column then this season for the jump season then, and I followed my trends through these handicap chases time after time now, and it's taken a little bit of sort of manoeuvring then throughout the season, but it's tended to work more than it hasn't with these kind of big price ones, at least hitting the frame. Sometimes they haven't converted to wins, but I'm just pleased in terms of my final signing off then
Save
for
the best for last.
my profit and losses then for
Yeah.
my Betfair column. But yeah,
He's done you a favour then, Shark
yeah.
Cannon absolutely will be. And Jordan Gainford, real composure he showed there, wasn't it? Not to chase off, to
brilliant.
step back too much. It was plan B,
Oh,
probably.
it's genius ride. We said that, didn't we?
he's
With circuit to
brilliant.
go.
It's an exciting race, wasn't it? Lots of people were back Kitties each way, and he's had a great season again. Let's just find him a win, please, next season. Musical Slave ran a blinder. Philip Hobbs, Tom O'Brien came through from the back, and I think Step Back was fourth in the end. Brave effort.
Yeah. They weren't coming back to them today at Sandown, were they? The better ground then, they just weren't coming back to
We've
them.
enjoyed it today, haven't we?
Oh, it's brilliant.
It's been great.
It's been a great day, hasn't it?
Really good panel. Great to have you with us, Barry, as well.
Yeah, I love the energy in the studio. Great stuff, guys. See you all again. I'm not around next week, though. I'm in Newmarket. Yeah.
Well, we will try and get a word with you there, of course. All change then for the flat. What a jump scene it has been here with Betfair and Racing Post Live. Great to have you with us, Nat Green. So much.
No
We'll see you
problem.
mid-May.
I'll be back.
Mid-May. G, what about you? You will be back next week,
I'll be back
unlike
next
Kate.
Sunday. I'll be back next Sunday. Yeah,
All
I'm
right,
looking
Kate's
forward to
going
it.
to go and look after Mr. Nice Guy again over there for Team Mullins. So, look, we've been Racing Post Live. Great to have you. Thanks to Will and Sam in the gallery as well. Jamie Philby on social. What a season we've had. What an afternoon. See you next week for the Guineas.